Car Talk. It's the In-Wheel Time Car Show. Today, coming to you from the first annual, I guess it would be the inaugural Bayway Chevrolet Car Show Extravaganza, benefiting Wheelchairs for Warriors. Just ahead on today's special show, more Jeff will tout his pre-owned car of the week. Are you doing the Ford Focus today?
Yes.
He's doing the Ford Focus, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I ripped the Jaguar yesterday.
Okay. We've got the racing calendar. Conrad's got the car clinic. We'll also have stories making automotive news headlines and some of the actual participants in today's car show. It's kind of a cruise in, but it's kind of not. Because a cruise in means you come on in and everybody talks to one another. And there's no awards. There's none of that. And you be on your way. Now, this is a judged car show. Now, I don't know who the judges are, but I know that they're good. Just my feeling. I just have that feeling.
Some come in and somebody said, "Here come the judge." So
here come the judge.
That might have been a Pontiac.
That's exactly. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, who's outside right now, trying to find somebody to talk to us in this heat. Hey, we've got at least one thing to offer this afternoon, and that is we got shade, baby. And we need shade.
Made in the shade.
Yep, we definitely need that. It's very hot out here.
And sticky.
We are in Pearland, Texas, which is a little city just south of the actual city of Houston.
Growing city.
Growing, prospering, big.
Metropolis.
Becoming that way. So Bayway Chevrolet, we're right here on FM 518. And we would invite you to come down. The show goes from now, it's open now, till 6 o'clock this evening. We're going to be doing this broadcast from 2 until 5 today across our social media networks. Now, we are a little bit limited on our camera views because it is so hot, the cameras keep
overheating.
And Conrad keeps finishing my sentences like he always does. So there's some things change and some things don't.
I can see what you're thinking.
Could you see that?
Yes.
I am so sorry. Let me apologize right up front.
Yes, because it's a scary view from here.
I know it is because you've known me long enough now to know exactly what I'm thinking. We're kind of married in a little way.
Yes, we are. We're way too much alike. We have the same birthday.
We do have the same birthday. As a matter of fact, I had lunch with another guy.
Except yours was like 37 years before mine.
You know, he just can't leave it alone. He's just got to go there. And
no, I think it's just 10 years before mine.
Whatever.
What are you, 47?
Yeah, that's it, 47. That's why all the women are just lined up, oogling over me. Is that the way to pronounce that?
Okay.
Because I know that you'll correct me if it's not right.
No. But look at the collection of cars here today. I mean,
you just wanted to move on, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
There's a 57.
There's a 57 ambulance.
There's sitting next door to it. And is that a 55
No,
pickup?
it's a 50. I'm not real sure of the year of the pickup truck. I would assume it's a 57. Is that yours? Oh, well, good. You guys need to come up here and talk to us here in a little bit.
Are you booking the show now?
I'm booking the show.
I think
Where's
you need
Mars?
To, well, he's out booking the show. So you, sir, come on and sit down. We just hang.
So it's a matching pair of a 57 Chevy ambulance and a 57 Chevy pickup truck, which I'm assuming is color matched in the red with the white top for a reason.
Okay, but at any rate, this is an all-encompassing car show.
And Heitzman's making noises in the fan.
Now, I will say that I did meet a guy that actually trailered his car in, and if you were to see the car, you'd understand why he trailered it here from Conroe. It is a 67 Camaro that has a 671 blower on it that's sticking out of the hood. And I can't even imagine what kind of gas mileage, if any, that he gets in the thing. But here to Conroe, I would say at least a tank.
You'd have to stop twice.
No, it's how many gas stations per mile.
Yeah,
how
no
many
kidding.
gallons
Well,
per
I'm
mile.
not exactly sure how all that works. But, this is one of those car shows that it's all about the details. And I mean that literally in the fact that if you're going to show your car, whether it's a street car, it's a show car, or it's a cruiser, a resto mod, an original, doesn't make any difference what it is. You need to detail the car. Do you know how to detail the car? Do you? You know how to detail a car?
I could probably get by.
You think?
Yeah.
You know how to detail a car? I think everybody
down.
thinks they know how to
Just rub it
detail a
down
car.
with new brake fluid.
But I will tell you that
Those are the tires.
I have won several awards many years ago as far as detailing a car when I was showing a car on a regular basis. But, believe it or not, me, of all people. But it takes a lot of work to detail a car to get it to a show level. And I'm not talking about an outdoor show like this. I'm talking about an indoor show that has carpet on the floor and, people pay good money to go in there, kind of like Autorama.
The toothpicks and the
yes.
toothbrushes and the little Q-tips.
All of that and more.
Yeah, we noticed there's a few wax spots on yours in the grooves.
Well,
get
yes,
a little
there
touch
is.
up.
I know, but it's not in competition here today.
No.
It's strictly to show off the fact that we are car guys, despite the name of the show.
Right.
So
Yep,
forgive me and thanks for calling me out. But at any rate, I'm sorry, I don't. Were we officially introduced?
I think we met quickly. My name is Chris, and I am with Detail Garage South Houston.
That's it. It's Chris with Detail Garage South Houston. So, Chris, if you're in the detailing business, you know about what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very familiar. I actually, back in the day, when I did detail for primary source of income, I had a couple of cars that were in Autorama. When I moved to Austin, I had a couple of cars out there at the some of the shows they had, and I think my biggest claim to fame was a Ferrari California I did, won second place at Pebble Beach.
Very nice.
So
At Pebble Beach.
At Pebble Beach.
Well, that's a bit of a claim to fame
It
because
was.
Pebble Beach would be the ultimate of all concours
Yes.
judged shows.
Yeah.
Well, I think Amelia Island is up
Amelia
there.
Island.
And I would also like to think that Keels and Wheels is right up there with them.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that I detailed for that showed at Keels and Wheels, Mr. Richard Cook, and huge guy down there in Clear Lake.
What kind of car?
He had 17. It just depended.
17.
Yeah.
I get a little feedback there, David. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so clearly if you're a detail guy, which you are,
Yes, sir.
it takes an enormous amount of patience and time. Yeah, it's real easy to say, oh, that's good enough.
Yeah.
When you say it's good enough, it ain't good enough.
No.
Not usually in a judged show where you've got trained, high-end judges, because they look for every stinking detail that
Speck
you
of
could
dust.
Right.
possibly imagine.
They look down between the fender and the gap with the door open in the hinge area to see if you got that thing way in there. It's going to take you a 2-foot Q-tip to clean.
My urologist does that.
Thank you.
we appreciate
I wanted
that,
to absorb that.
thought breaker there. But Pebble Beach, so were you there with the car at Pebble Beach?
Sadly, no. No, I wasn't. Mr. Michael Bennett, which is the client who went out there, but no, he sent me a text the day of judgment and was like, so you didn't win. And I was like, but? And he's like, well, you got second. I was like, hey, okay.
That's right.
But that kind of sparked my interest in detailing, and it was sparked as a kid, getting better at it, honing the craft. Right now, I don't detail at all. Right, Detail Garage South Houston is it's a place for the car community to come to. So we're really big on hosting events. We offer classes on how to detail, so anything from just basics in detailing, right, the do's and don'ts, proper processes, procedures, all the way to paint correction classes.
So today, you've got some vehicles that maybe have a little road grime on it from coming from far away places. Would you recommend they put anything on their vehicle in this 100-degree heat?
No.
Don't touch it.
Yep.
In the heat.
Exactly. As soon as you spray something on these paints that are 120 plus degrees, or maybe even, I'm probably lowballing, but that's going to bake the product right on right away.
Yeah.
And you just made a nightmare.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing that I was going to venture off into are show cars that rank up there at the top of originality, even though many of them have been restored, but been restored back down to the nuts and bolts, all the way down to the washers, the correct wiring harness,
Proper
period
markings,
correct,
proper
all
markings
of
on
the
the nuts
things,
and bolts, yep.
yeah, and the chassis and the car and everything else.
And all the little manufacturing crayon marks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oversprays.
Yeah, all of that. So when you get into that level, that's probably not going to be seen at this show.
No.
Be my guess.
But this is our ideal audience, though.
Yes, it is for you.
It's all the people that buy our products and they're do-it-yourselfers.
What kind of products do you sell over there?
So Detail Garage is the franchise storefront for the parent company called Chemical Guys. So Chemical Guys detailing products.
I knew those guys in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Really?
before
Chemical guys. I don't know if they had anything to do with cars, but they had.
Because Paul's been around for a while, so I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably different kind of chemical than what Conrad's talking about. But yes,
that one went over my head.
Yeah, good. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Dad'll be proud when he listens to it.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, so Chemical Guys detailing products. So we have everything from soaps to just general interior wipe downs, all the way to 5-year ceramic coatings, polishers, foam cannons, all that good stuff. All of our chemicals made in the U.S. Slowly but surely, everything will be made in the U.S. So it's a really awesome company. Everything we sell is the online price, right? So that's part of being a franchise. So
no brick and mortar?
Well, that's
you.
The Detail Garage is the
All
brick
right,
and mortar, yes,
gotcha.
sir. But they do have some of our products at other locations, big box stores like Walmart. They carry a limited amount of SKUs, but you're always going to pay more, and you don't have the knowledge there, right? So and I'm not making fun of anybody, but Walmart employees have their set jobs, right? Our set job at Detail Garage is to inform you of everything you need in order to achieve what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
And so we'll go from, the most basic starter packs, again, all the way up to I want to be a professional detailer, learn how to paint correct, and lay down ceramic.
So if I get online and I buy a product, and I get whatever amounts and processes, but I also need somebody to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'll buy your product. Is that available? You have people that you can recommend?
We definitely have people we recommend. So we don't do it at the shop, but we do have quite a few very good, trusted detailers that we really scrutinize their work before we even hold their card and recommend people. So, say you want somebody to do the hard work and you want to maintain it, we got people for that.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
I have that 2001 Corvette, black on black.
Love it.
Thank you. And, the one thing that I haven't done that I want to do
Pink pierce striping?
is I would like to actually work on the seats.
Gotcha.
And I have not cleaned them. I have not done anything. So even though the car only has 26,000 miles on it, 26,000 miles is just that.
Right.
And a lot of butts in the seat.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to clean the seat and treat the seat. What would you do? What would you tell me to do? Now, it does have stitching on the back of it. It's hard to see. It's in silver, and it says Corvette. I don't want to mess that up.
Gotcha.
If anything, I want to enhance that.
Gotcha.
So you got to help me here.
So products that come to mind right off the bat, our leather cleaner is odorless and it's colorless, right? And so it's also made to be as strong as it can be without affecting dye, finish, anything of the leather. So use that straight up. Leather.
Spray can?
It is a 16-ounce sprayer, yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's not a
Need
cream.
an
You put
aerosol or a pump sprayer?
It's a pump sprayer.
You put a cream on after as a finish coat?
We do, yes.
We ain't got that far yet.
I'm going to go for a ride.
Got to clean it first before you lubricate it.
Yeah. I would say clean it, especially use a...
You can't talk like this is a public show.
Well, no, when you put a leather
You
conditioner...
cannot talk that
a
way.
leather conditioner is also lubricating the leather because you're trying to restore some of the lost oils to the sun. Am I correct?
I would go with Hydrate, but yes, sir.
Okay. Hydrate. Okay. You got to
Hydrate
clean
your
it
leather.
before you hydrate it.
It sounds really sophisticated, doesn't it?
And that's not just pouring water on it.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay.
sweat.
So now that we've followed now how do you apply it?
The cleaner?
Uh-huh.
I use a brush. So I use a very soft horsehair brush that we use, that we sell in the store, rather. It's an excellent brush. It gets in the cracks and crevices. If you have pref-red leather, those little horsehairs will get down into it, scrub it all down, and then you use just a clean microfiber towel to wipe up the excess.
Because you don't want to get it too wet.
Right.
And because especially on the perforated seats, then you got a big mess on your hands and air conditioning, heated seats, all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
That can be a problem.
Right. And so I do a light mist. A lot of times I'll lightly mist the seat. I'll prime my brush, right? Spray the brush. It's priming it just like anything else, and then you just scrub it down, wipe it up. Just do that to the whole actual vehicle. By the time you get back to where you started, it's dry. And then take your we have two different leather conditioners that are full-on conditioners. We have just regular conditioner that has some UV protection, and we have serum. Now, the serum has essential oils in it that helps to give even more sunblock. It literally doubles what leather conditioner does for $3 more a bottle.
But what happened? First thing that comes to mind is it's going to make it slick like Armor All, and I'm going to slide right off the seat.
Not at all. So, and that's common, right? But that's how I grew up. You cleaned your leather seats; they were shiny, and they were slippery. This gives a nice, just genuine leather look to it. It's kind of matte. I would call it a sheen at most. By the time you get in there, your bottom's not sliding around anywhere. It's not going to be anything other than just the OEM natural look that you were looking for.
Now, after the cleaner, and I get my rag off of the seat, and I look at it, I want to see dirt. Am I going to see dirt?
Absolutely. I wish I had full cleaner here. I'd do a demo on your car right now.
He wishes you did too.
You have plenty of time to go back. This is a 4-hour show. Plenty of time to go back and get it.
My coworkers are going to be a little mad if I leave for too long.
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Okay, so what about that silver stitching at the back of the seat?
Cleaner's going to be just fine. Boar's hair brush just fine. It's not going to be so aggressive that it causes it to fray or anything else.
And you won't transfer the dirt that you're cleaning off of the leather surface into the stitching?
I would probably wipe my brush on my microfiber towel before I do anything, just to ensure that. As far as running a conditioner over it, if it's like a full embroidered logo, I wouldn't. And the main reason why is the conditioners, they're a cream base. Even if you spread it with your finger and you lay it really thin over it, you are going to potentially
hydrate it.
Well, yeah, but you can potentially take away from the silver, right? Something like that, you're just best avoiding it, and that's just the best answer I can give. Clean it, let it be, hydrate everything around
Got it. Yep.
So in preparing your car for a show, do it at home in your garage. Hopefully your garage is air conditioned.
Well, at least in the shade, that's for sure.
Because doing it here is not the place to do it.
Correct, yeah. Like I went somewhere yesterday, but it was early enough in the morning that I think I got there at like 7:15 in the morning, right? Sun's already out, my paint's not scorching hot yet, so I'm in a parking garage that's covered. I'm waiting 30 minutes for it to cool to the touch on the back side of my hand, and then I'm using my product to wipe it down so the photo shoot could go as planned. And I got bugs off.
Photo shoot.
I did, yeah.
Girls and everything.
I wish. Wait, my ex might be listening to this, so.
Maybe she wants to volunteer to be the model.
All right, so.
As long as she's hydrated.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got the seats. What about the carpet? Now, that car's got original carpet in it and original mats. Now, what I did was, shake your head if you want, but it's always worked for me all these years. I take an itty-bitty little amount of
Dawn dishwashing soap.
He just will not
He won't.
stop,
He's not gonna stop.
will he?
Well, go ahead. You take a little bit of
You know, I now understand why.
It's like we're married.
No wonder Angela spends most of her time out on the West Coast because you finish all of her sentences for her.
Oh,
I
gosh,
bet.
yes.
And I bet you she loves it, doesn't
No,
she?
she hates it.
And why would I be any different? Because I'm your second wife.
Anything I say after that will just get me in trouble. And this is public airways, and you told me to be nice.
Okay.
These people won't say anything.
Yeah, they don't care. So I have original carpet mats in there, and I take a little bitty amount of laundry detergent. Okay. My preference is Gain, and I mean it only takes just a couple of drops.
Makes them
Get
smell
it all
nice, too.
nice and watered down. Get the hose out there. Get them all nice and wet. Okay.
Hydrated.
Then get this laundry detergent. Put that on there, and I just take a regular tire brush and go to town.
And it's not. I would say it's not the worst. I've heard people using degreasers and crazy things like that.
No. I'll tell you the thing that I really prefer is just a regular sweeping broom. You know?
Yep.
A regular broom. Just get up there and sweep it. Because really all you're trying to do is just loosen the junk that's in this.
And then vacuum it up.
Not vacuum it up.
You don't vacuum it?
No. And so then I take it, hang it up, get the hose out, and make sure that it's all rinsed off so there's nothing on there. Nothing.
Gotcha.
Well, I was thinking if you do it without the Gain in the water, you brush it and then vacuum up all the dirt and dust.
There's no vacuum involved.
There's car washes that they go to. They take your mat and they put it in like a wheel.
A scrubber.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't work worth a damn.
Okay.
So what do you do for carpets?
So then I finish it up by hanging it on the fence and rinsing it off with the hose and letting it sun dry.
So that's a great method.
Thank you.
A method that you could use without saturating the floor mats. We have a carpet-specific shampoo. It's in the store. It's called Fabric Clean. And use it. 16-ounce bottle is concentrated, so you dilute it down. And you could just mist over it to where you get a decent saturation, but it's not soaking wet. And then we have drill brushes that are called the spinner drill brush, right? 3 different levels of aggressiveness. I always go with the soft just because it's safe on everything.
Yep.
Drill it out, right? Then take your microfiber towel, scrub it down. Since it's not saturated, you just throw them out in the sun for about 5 minutes. They're dried up. They're ready to go. Smells kind of like
lilacs.
Oh, I wish. It smells like lemon lime. It smells more like Sprite.
Springtime fresh.
There you go.
Yes. I will say something, but I'll get in trouble if I do. But I know about the springtime fresh. I used to like that a lot. Strawberry, actually. Just had to say that. It's okay.
It's all right.
Wherever your mind goes, just let it go there, okay? And
I was waiting for him to finish your sentence.
I know. He's writing something
I know,
now.
he's writing
taking notes, so when we finish talking, he can play all of
We'll
this
go to
back.
commercial.
I would imagine. Okay. And I would assume that, the car care products that you have for the paint will not take off the clear coat.
No, sir.
And it will not take out rock chips.
No, sir. It's a very common question, actually.
Yeah.
Will this
Does
take away
it
rock chips? And I'm like, ooh, it's not magic.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No, we just
But
fill them in.
I think
Exactly.
I think that the key to what you're saying, though, is do it at room temperature in the garage.
Yes, sir.
Don't put it out in the sun and then put it in the garage and attempt to do it. You got to let it cool down.
Cool it.
And have a nice day.
Right.
Because if you do it the right way, from my experience, it's going to take most of the day.
Yes, sir.
Section by section.
I use it as therapy, truly.
Really?
Detailing to me is therapeutic. I can get lost in a car for 6
That's
to 8
why
hours.
you're so nice and calm.
I'm only right now.
Uh-huh.
My employees would beg to differ sometimes.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So what do you do to hydrate? We'll instead of my word, we'll use your word. All of the hard plastic. What do you do for that other than just wipe it clean? Because they
Exterior-wise-
sell that stuff at Kmart and Walmart and all that.
Kmart's not in business
I don't think so.
anymore. I don't think.
Walmart,
Dating yourself.
There is
AutoZone.
there's a lot of products out there, and what I tell everybody is avoid products with dye. For one, it's gimmicky. The dye will last on your hands longer than it'll last on your trim.
Okay.
And plastics are all about, the right formula. We have this plastic restore product called Tire and Trim Gel. And Tire and Trim Gel is a very potent oil-based product. It's thick. It's almost like honey. This is one of the rare occasions I suggest you put your car into the sun after application. So you'll have it in the garage where it's nice and cool. You'll apply it to all the plastic trim outside only since it is oil-based, right? And then when you're done applying it, throw it out in the sun so the sun actually heats up the plastic, opens up the pores, and it soaks in. And
So this would be a product for, and I'm going to go to my memory on this. The Chevrolet Avalanche used to have those
Yes.
black plastic trim pieces on it that
always turn
Oh,
gray.
turn
All
gray,
over the
and this
place,
is the
yeah.
kind of product would restore the black
Yes,
color
sir.
to it.
yes, sir. Even that Mini Cooper, right? That's got the fenders over there.
Right.
First thing I saw was like, okay, those are charcoal gray, right? They need to be black. And it looks like a track car, so he probably doesn't care, and I'm with that, right? I love track vehicles, but for a
Actually,
show car,
that's a hand-controlled track car. You
Yes,
got to go
it
look
is.
at it.
is it really?
Yeah.
And we had him on the show
The
yesterday.
gentleman in the blue shirt owns it.
That's awesome.
He's in charge of the school.
They do it for military veterans that are wanting to get a little track time in a hand-controlled car.
And
Very
hence
cool.
the theme of this show.
Yeah, that's
Wheelchairs
amazing.
for warriors, yes. Well, it's been really fun to talk to you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it, and thanks for putting up with our shenanigans, too.
It's a pleasure. Appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. And we'll be checking in with you.
Do it.
To make sure that you're doing your job and that we send some business your way.
Definitely. And if the people are here, $10 raffle tickets for $80 worth of products. 100% of the raffles are going to Wheelchairs for Warriors. So
Very nice.
that's the big thing over
Fantastic.
there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We
Appreciate y'all.
appreciate you.
And if you need a demo vehicle,
It's not that one. Yeah. I like the way people give away my stuff.
I know it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's right. You brought your car here.
You told me to park in the South 40.
Uh-huh.
That's where
I
And
didn't tell you.
that's where it is in the South
South
40.
That's where
They're detailing it right now, by the way.
Are they? Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I hope I mentioned that this is a charity event. So all of the proceeds, I think it's a $30 entry fee, $30 to show your car here. And they have dash plaques and T-shirts and all that stuff for your $30. But your $30 then goes to a group called Wheelchairs for Warriors, which is near and dear to the heart of the general manager here, Lincoln Stahl. And you'll hear the commercials later on. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on, if we don't mind, and let's talk about our stuff that we have. Do you happen to have the racing calendar?
The stuff.
Did you watch the SRX stuff last night?
Yeah,
on
I did.
CBS?
I did. I thought it was interesting. I don't know how. And again, being the first race, I think they have a lot of work to do on it.
I agree.
Bestwick does a decent job. I think I'm so used to the guys that do the analysis on F1 and NASCAR that I think there's a lot for them to learn. And Danica probably wishes she was in a car versus in the booth.
And she should be.
And she should
as
be.
opposed to being in the booth.
I don't agree with most of what you said. Bestwick, he's a great announcer. And
I'm being nice.
I'm not.
So what is the gripe?
I just don't think that was the right crew.
Okay.
I really don't.
They didn't bring excitement to what was going on, and they were.
What it did bring was notice of short track racing. I thought of Gina the whole time I was watching.
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
10,000 people there, packed stands.
So racing calendar, what's today? It's 2:30 in the afternoon.
Well, I'm sure New England Nationals, Tasca New England Nationals, is probably pushing the final round by now.
Okay.
I didn't track it to see where Erica ended up. The Texas All-Star race is tonight. Last night they had the truck and the Xfinity races. Formula One Grand Prix is next weekend at Paul Ricard. Is Paul Ricard, the French Grand Prix. And
You want guests? Do you want me to do that?
well, we want your guests here.
We're here.
Great.
All I need for you is to work that.
Detroit Belle Island yesterday. They had race one for the Indy cars, and they had the IMSA race, and the Cadillac won the IMSA race, and
Yep.
the Corvettes won the GTLM,
Yep.
though they were the only two GTLMs that were
Those are
running.
the only two we need to talk about.
And then Road America is next weekend again for Indy cars, so that should be pretty cool.
Okay. Thank you. Time
And
now
then,
for
and
our,
then July 3rd is Gina Child Knowles and the Texas Gulf Coast, or the Gulf Coast Racing Series out at Houston Motorsports Park. Sorry.
time now for this hour's pre-owned car of the week, and Mr. Zekin has the Ford Focus.
I do. It's a 2018 Ford Focus, several models, so we all need to write these down. We're having a test later. It is the S, the SE, the SEL, the SEL hatch, the titanium hatch, and the ST. The ST is actually the performance vehicle, a little hot rod of the group. What we're reviewing is the titanium sedan. It is a compact vehicle, 5 passengers, Mike. It's basically a plain design. Not much has changed over the years, and it's just stayed the way it is. It's a neat little car. Rear lip spoiler. They've got the blackout grille, black accents, and you can get more of this with the ST version. It's got the integrated turn signals, which more of the vehicles do have now, fog lamps, all those exterior bells and whistles with the HID lights and things of that nature. Cloth and leather options for the interior. The higher you go with the titaniums and the STs, you can get both options. The SE and the S versions are not really suitable or cost-effective for you. Heated driver seats are an option. Heated steering wheel, 60/40 rear split seat, 6-way passenger power seat, driver's knee airbag as needed, 8-inch touchscreen, and a sunroof. That'll complete the interior, which is a neat little vehicle. It is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, 160 miles per hour, 160 horsepower at 6,500 RPM, 146 on the torque at 4,500 foot-pounds of torque. 6-speed select shift transmission. You can either get this in automatic or a manual. 24 miles per gallon in the city, 34 highway, and 28 combined with a 12.4-gallon fuel tank. Stability control so far as ride and handling. You've got traction control, 4-wheel disc. Rides on some 17-inch with the aspect ratio being of 215/50. HR17, which is a little bit of a performance tire for you. remote start, spunky little drivability car. It's got a little bit of spunk. 14 to 23,000 in the price range, depending on, of course, mileage and condition of the vehicle. So the S is more around the 14 range. The ST is more around the 23,000 range. 2 recalls. One of the recalls was on the trans leak after the clutch fracture, and the second one would be the gas purge container excessive vacuum.
I hate that gas purge container every time.
It'll get you.
Yeah.
The end.
All right. Thank you very much. I want to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on your favorite podcast channel. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Winning the highest sales satisfaction award among all luxury brands from J.D. Power in 2020 tells you everything you need to know about your Lincoln purchase from Bayway. Bayway Lincoln is where a premium buying experience is a priority, and you're invited to feel it yourself. This Houstonian-owned premier dealership is managed by Lincoln Stahl, a seasoned member of the Bayway family. If it's online, in person, or in your own driveway, Bayway gets you to the luxury level you deserve. Bayway Lincoln is on the Gulf Freeway at Fuquay, just inside Beltway 8. Visit BaywayLincoln.com today. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U 159 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and West U, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Coming up, more guests from today's remote broadcast here at Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland. Conrad has his car clinic. I'll have this week's auto news. Howdy, along with Mike, Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more, Jeff Zekin, and the fabulous David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today. It's hot. It's like Hades out here at the Bayway parking lot, but I have to kind of brag about the fact that pretty full. This is really a nice car show.
For the inaugural, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and for you that are watching, listening, ogling, wanting to be here, come on down.
Still got time.
Yeah, it's open until 6 o'clock. But right now, our
and what is it for again?
Wheelchairs for Warriors.
Thank you. Right now, our guest in the remote studio is Greg and Marty, and I assume that since you're married that your names are the same at the end.
Yes.
Graves.
Yes.
And I think that it's rather appropriate that your name is Graves and you drive an ambulance.
Yes, it's
A
a
hearse
couple.
ambulance.
Yeah.
How did that work out? I mean, did you kind of said, okay, well, our last name is Graves, let's just go ahead and buy an ambulance?
Well, I was looking for a 55 two-door hardtop that my parents sold when I was overseas, and I never saw the money or the car. And Marty says, well, why don't you look online and just pick out something? So I looked at Little Valley Auto Ranch in Belton, Texas in 2008, and I kept seeing this ambulance in the field.
Oh, it was in the field.
It was in the field. It was kind of a white color.
Behind everything else.
Yeah, but it stuck out further than everything else. So I said, it's been extended, but because it's an ambulance, I worked at Texas Children's Hospital, so I was familiar with ambulances. So I kept looking, and I just didn't pay attention. So after about, 6 months of procrastinating, it went off the site. So it was off for about 6 weeks, and lo and behold, it came back on, and it was painted just like you see it, red on the bottom and white on the top, and a reduced price. So we went to Belton, Texas, and purchased it on August the 8th of 2008.
So somebody restored it.
It is a national body-built combination hearse ambulance built in the factory in Nicetown, Indiana in 1957. They started the car by the tag number of the Cal tag. It's a onyx black two-door utility sedan, no back seat, and the tweed cloth black and silver.
Okay.
So it's a Nomad.
No.
It
was a two-door sedan. No, it was a two-door sedan car.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And they did all of that to it?
Right behind the front post, they cut it off, the frame. And they extended it 30 inches by putting two pieces of C-channel welded together, 51 inches long from the pillar where it is to the spring hanger.
So why do you think that they did that and didn't use, like, for instance, a utility truck like a Suburban or a Nomad? Why didn't they do that?
They wanted more height, too.
So is that
they
the
raised
roof line?
So
Yeah.
That is a custom roof line.
Ah, there you go.
An extended door that's 36 inches long, custom glass. Rear door is actually off of a sedan delivery. And when they extended it 30 inches, it's now 144-inch wheelbase, 12-foot wheelbase, and the body is 19 feet 4 inches long.
So in 1957, I can only imagine that it must cost at least $100,000 back then. All that work and labor that they put in that thing?
1995.
And the car
that's when it was
originally
done?
cost $1,850 as a utility two-door sedan.
So they only charged another $1,000 for all that
No,
work?
1995.
1995.
So
Never mind.
back in 57, math is hard, Don. So back in 57, you could have had an ambulance from a 57 Chevy ambulance for less than $4,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that you'd want one.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How many others have you seen?
There were 7 ever made,
Okay, so yours is
And-
one of 7.
and we know where all 7 are.
Oh, really?
They still exist.
Yes, 2 are in museums in Mexico, 2 are in Canada. There's 1 down in Brazil. There's 1 in Tennessee at a funeral home, and ours.
Now, is the one in Tennessee, is it a hearse?
Yes.
Well, they
Yours
use
is an
they
ambulance,
use it more
but-
as a hearse. Yes.
But it's colored for a hearse, so it's all black
No.
and everything?
No, it's
bright
all
red.
red.
Oh, really?
Red with a
Solid
red
red
hearse.
interior.
Now, that'd be an interesting.
Red and silver.
That's a way to
interior.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing you could add to it is make it a convertible.
Right.
So, yeah, you got that. The
Well, that would be a
casket out
flower
there.
car.
Or
It
get
would
a
be a
sun
flower
tub
car.
in it.
Could be a flower car.
And people are dying to get in it.
They are. Yes,
Did you read our sign?
No,
All
I
right,
did not.
all right, all right.
I did not.
Our sign says Graves Funeral Home. People are dying to do business with us.
How cool is that? So powertrain wise, though, what was the original engine that was in it? I'm assuming.
Still
283.
Still
Okay.
the original, we think, 283.
Is it okay?
Power glide, treadle vac brakes, and that's it. No power steering.
We've added that.
So
Right.
you drive it, right? You
But it
drive
had a
I
huge.
do drive it.
It had a
occasionally.
huge
But
generator
the truck
on
is
it.
mine.
Oh,
The regular generators were like 5 inches,
Right.
maybe 6. This thing's 7.5 inches tall and an 8.
Trying
inches
to run
long.
all the electronics
Yeah.
back
Like,
in
yeah.
those days, which weren't
We're
No.
much.
Now, does it,
transistorized
does
like
it
they are
still
today.
have the original?
I
you're
bought-
going to have to turn that on when you go back.
It's called
Yeah.
the siren, Don.
It
Like-
does have that.
It does.
Like anything else, you can buy it online. When we got the car, she emailed her sister and says, we bought a 1957 Chevrolet ambulance. She sends back a YouTube video from Fraser Fields in British Columbia. Oh, you mean like this one?
Oh, you're
And-
kidding.
Yeah, and his is red and white. And it had oldambulances.com. So
That's how we knew where the other ones were.
Right,
'cause
so he
knew
told me.
all about them, and he said, "We've been waiting to see where you were."
It's like the
We've
old
been
Highway
waiting to
Patrol
find
movie.
yours.
Find this, the
Right.
final
right,
one of the
right,
7.
the final 7.
But
yeah.
you need to ask her about her truck next to it. That's hers too.
Yeah, that's my
Well,
truck.
We'll get there.
I'm going to get there.
The ambulance came to Texas we did a title search. For anybody out there who wants to know if you're in a classic car, just get a DOT form, $5.75, and they'll tell you how long that vehicle has been registered in Texas. This vehicle came to Texas in 1986 from California.
Fort Irwin, California, and
Okay.
the only thing in Fort Irwin
Is the United States
military-
Air Force
military
military
base.
base. And the
And
guy's name and headquarters, 631st Infantry, Fort Irwin. So we know it was a military ambulance. And
when we got a hold of that guy in British Columbia, he said that the military didn't like the tunnel roofs up on the top.
The lights up
the
on the
lights on the top. And so ours doesn't have that. His does. And so that was kind of an indication it might be a military
Now in
vehicle.
57, weren't on many of them the actual siren sitting outside on the fender?
right, or on the light and
Yes.
light and siren combination.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I talked to Frazier, he said the Federal Model 17 light is period correct from 56 to 62, and the Federal 28 siren that we purchased is correct from 56 to 62.
Oh, wow.
So I noticed that that in the bumpers you've got red lights. Is that standard, or did you do that?
I did that.
That's beautiful.
Pontiac 50, my 50 Pontiac
Taillights.
LED tail lights that I hooked up with a
Fit
flasher.
perfect, huh?
Fit perfect, 3.5 inches.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would hope that has air conditioning on it.
No.
It doesn't?
Neither one.
Because I know back in 57, I don't think Chevrolet offered air conditioning, but I think there was some
But
other.
the good news in 57, if you look right above the lights, it's a screened area, and that's a grill. Goes
Yeah,
through
right
a
above the
5-inch
headlight.
5-inch diameter tubes on each side of the above the fenders and right into the interior of the car.
So you get some
You get
Air
good
air
ventilation.
effect.
And your vent windows always blow. This
Well,
air
yeah.
blows on her. This air blows on that. And when we have the sliders, when we built the
The partition
rear
in the
wall
back.
partition, and the windows don't close all the way, the air just goes on in the back. You can just run with the windows down.
Well,
a
you know,
little
most of
bit.
these people that they're walking around here today, most of them, don't remember the fact that, cars didn't have air conditioning.
Right.
We didn't have air conditioning. Did you have air conditioning?
Not until like the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 60s. As a matter of fact,
Early
Dad's
60s, yeah.
first purchase down here was a 60, I want to say is a 62 Buick, and it was a LeSabre that didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah, well, air conditioning, I don't think air conditioning was even very popular until 65, 66,
Yeah,
67.
yeah.
You could get them in the 50s, but they were kind of bulky, and I remember
were in the trunk.
They were in the trunk,
Or
and they
hanging
came
out.
up
Had a
those big
tube that
tubes
comes
up the
up.
back,
Or
right?
hanging outside of the window.
But that was a
Yeah.
swamp cooler.
right.
Yeah.
That was a swamp cooler.
A version of air conditioning.
My 55 two-door hardtop had the tubes in the back with air conditioning. It was factory air was started in 56. That would have been a dealer item added on, and that's why I bought my 55 for $200 for the blown-up 265
Oh, wow.
before I went in the military.
Yeah. Well,
And that's
okay.
why you wanted to find
Yeah,
it.
it was my dream car. I was going to have it forever.
So let's talk about the 57 Chevy Truck.
Okay.
That's sweet. And everybody and his mother probably tell you the same thing,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah.
So a little bit of history about the truck?
We found it in Splendora, which
Okay.
is just north
Hop,
of
skip, and a
Houston,
jump,
and
yep.
it was already painted the red and white, and somebody had already changed it out to a 350 Trans,
Nice.
and so we drove it home.
And I guess no rust?
Yeah, there's rust. If you look close, of course, the bottoms of the doors,
The
those
typical
kinda
places, yeah.
Places, yeah.
Uh-huh. Now, is the gas tank still behind the seat?
No, they moved that to the back of the truck, the pickup, and put a Tahoe cover on it.
And no air conditioning in that either?
Nope.
Okay.
That's why you got
you're
vent
really
windows
into,
and-
so it kind of goes with the theme of the ambulance. Y'all are into self-torture.
Yes.
So you just drive yourself right to the hospital after you drive it on a day like today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's-
obviously you must have everybody come up to you wanting to talk about that ambulance, and with the truck parked next to it, it's just a gimme.
You
know?
can't go buy gas without somebody stopping. Can I take a picture of your ambulance? I mean, we've driven to Dallas a couple of times, and you stop at Madisonville halfway, get some gas, and everybody just floods on the car.
Oh, stopping at Buc-ee's in Madisonville.
There you go.
You got to stop at
Everybody-
Buc-ee's.
It's the thing to do.
That is too funny. Well, so do y'all have any other plans for them? Just to join them?
Enjoy them.
Yeah.
Drive
enjoy
them as long as we can.
Just don't let that rust get too far out of hand.
That's right.
Are you going to try to mitigate some of that before too long, or?
Well, we had a lot of work done to it, and we've had engine work done and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we'll probably eventually.
I had a
you know.
55 pickup truck that I bought from a mechanic at Richardson Chevrolet, and it had a 350 engine in it, and it had a 3-speed automatic transmission. It was all decked out, custom seats and console and air conditioning and an extra gas tank, all that stuff, except they didn't deal with the rust.
Oh.
And that back part of the cab, where it all comes together back there in that rounded
corner,
area.
yeah.
Oh, it was bad. And I sold it before I did anything with it. And, I think today that they actually make pieces that you can weld in there.
Yes, they
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
So I know that because the popularity, parts and body panels have become more popular for them, and they're making them now.
Yeah, you can even buy the whole cab.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
The whole cab?
Oh, yeah.
Whole cab.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh, why doesn't that surprise me?
Yeah. Just got to know where to look. We
Well, great.
we call it cubic dollars, whatever you want
Yeah,
to
no
spend
kidding.
on it.
Exactly. Now, what part of town do you guys live in?
We're in Manville.
Oh, in Manville.
Yeah.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah,
South
not too
of
far.
us here.
Awesome.
So
Well,
what else do you drive besides these two? What is your daily driver?
I've got a GMC
Acadiana.
Acadiana.
Okay.
And I've got
he
her
has a
old 2007
Trailblazer.
Trailblazer.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're Chevy all the way.
So these are the garage kept ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful pair of vehicles. I can understand why everywhere you go, people stop to talk to you because I've never. The last time I saw, and it had to be yours. You guys were at Woody's Waterfront. I think it was 2 years ago
Yes.
in 19.
Yeah.
And you had them both there, parked next to each other. We didn't get a chance to talk to you then. That's why I want to make sure Mike got a chance to talk to you. We got
Right.
a chance to talk to you today.
Good.
What a cool car! 1 of 7.
One of 7 ever made.
So that's going to go on unicorn hunting.
There you go.
Thank you
And the
both.
siren. Want to hear the
Thank
siren?
you.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
all
having
right.
us.
Well, we'll blast the siren for you.
Yeah.
Greg and Marty
Thank you both
Graves,
very,
thanks so
very
much
much.
for stopping
Okay.
by. Great talking to you
Thank
guys.
you.
Hope to see you again soon.
Oh,
Thank
well.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Coming up, we've got more guests from the show, the car show here at Bayway Chevrolet. Conrad's going to have his car clinic, and I'm going to have some headlines for you. That's all coming up next here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. And by the way, if you ever want to get a hold of us, just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. So it's time now for Conrad's Car Clinic. I was kind of waiting for you, but I know that you always have something good and interesting. And is it kind of relatable to today's?
Well, if I can get a mic, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, as summer approaches, and so does the hot weather, and we're here today, there's a lot of things you can do to kind of help keep your car cool from the hot summer. And how do you make your air conditioning system a little bit more efficient when you don't do anything really mechanical to it? So there's a couple of things you can do. One of the things is park in the shade. Definitely use a window shade
Right.
on the dash to reflect the sun load out, because inside of a car you could easily get 140, 150 degrees inside of a car. So the more of that heat you can reflect out, tinting the windows. I tend to leave the windows cracked or the sunroof cracked open, especially the sunroof.
sunroof?
To let some of the hot air, because the hot air rises, will vent out of the inside of the vehicle. Now, you can do it on a beautiful day. You got to be a little careful when it's rainy
And
out.
where you park it,
And then
too.
there are actually companies that sell these little fans that you roll your window down. You put this little long blade fan on it, roll your window up, and it's got a solar fan, so it's circulating. You get one for each side. It circulates air in on one side and out on the other to kind of keep the interior cooler for you.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty cool.
J.C. Whitney?
Well, probably that's about where you'd have to go to it, but I've seen them. You can see them. You can find them
I
online.
remember seeing them that had the solar chargers.
Right.
Yeah.
No batteries or nothing.
Right,
Just
little solar fans. The other thing is you want to always make sure you check your evaporator, the radiator, area. Make sure there's not a lot of leaves clogged up there. You know, you can also get a little plastic bag up there. That's going to have a negative impact on the performance of your air conditioning. Keep that little area where the air intake happens as well clean of debris, especially now that all the trees have fallen out and you've got pine needles and stuff.
All the trees are gone.
Yeah, all the trees are gone. Sounds like a song out of the 60s. You know, you want to keep that air inlet clean so you get good airflow. The other thing is you want to keep your cabin air filter clean so you have good airflow. The more air you can move, the cooler things happen. Well, there are some people that I try and teach everybody on your air buttons. So most people drive on recirc all the time. And recirculation means you're cooling the air inside the car. And about 95% of the air that's going through the AC system is coming from inside the car.
Right.
When you first start your car, turn it to normal.
Yeah, so it blows all that hot air
So
out.
right. So now you're going to draw in the 105-degree outside air and blow the 150-degree inside air, and it's going to just help your air conditioning system cool a little bit faster because you're not trying to cool 150-degree air. You're just trying to cool the outside air. And air conditioning systems are going to remove heat from the air. They don't necessarily, I say cool, but what they do is they remove heat from the air. So on a super hot day, and let's go to Arizona, if it's 120 degrees out, you may only get a 75-degree outlet temperature. You're not going to get that 50-degree outlet temperature you can get on a 100-degree day. Generally, the delta is about 40, 45 degrees of temperature drop on an air conditioning system. So that's ways you can help your AC system.
Sweet.
Or just roll the windows down all day.
That's the 40-40 air.
That's
all
the-
four windows down, you do 40 miles an hour. 40,
60
That's what we
miles
used
an
to
hour.
do.
We used to do 60, and then turn, and like they do on theirs, turn the vents in
Yep,
so they
did
blow
that too.
blow the air on
Yep.
it. I've also had some people had bypass the heater. You know, talked about bypassing the heater cores on their vehicles because the heater core is always getting a little bit of hot air, hot water, and all of the air passes through the heater
I had
core.
an old Chevy Caprice that had a lever, a little lever.
Right.
You just turn off the heater core.
Right.
Yeah.
Well-
most cars have a switch on them to turn the water flow to the heater core
Right.
off, but there's still a little bit of water gets
Yeah.
through it.
This was
and-
under the hood. You had to actually crank it.
Okay. Oh, cool.
I had a
that's how you
next door
can help
neighbor
your-
that actually put a valve from the water
Yeah,
faucet
yeah.
in there.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
That'll work.
It'll work.
It'll work.
You could, I mean, ultimately, if you're
It's not
kind
high
of
pressure.
crazy, you can use your windshield washers and spray water on the condenser, and it will help your air conditioning system
Wow,
cool better.
that's tricky there.
And then when
Yeah.
you're stuck in traffic, kind of rev the engine up to about 1,200 RPM, and that helps your air conditioning system cool much
Nice.
better as well.
Very good tip.
Kind of like lifting your skirt up. Get the little breeze going down under there.
Do it all the time.
What?
You told me not to go there.
No,
When we opened the show, you said this is a public show. We don't want to go there. So
No,
I'll
I'm
leave it
I'm
alone.
just saying, hey man, you're gonna blow your skirt up.
There you
blow
go.
your skirt up. That'll
Blow your
work.
skirt up. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Or
All
your,
right, time now.
or your kilt.
In my case, that would be the case. Time now for a couple of stories making auto news headlines this week. Parkopedia's parking and payment services will now be available to Toyota and Lexus brand vehicles in North America. What is it? The new Park with Parkopedia service will cover locating, reserving, and paying for off-street parking in the 2018 model year or newer Toyota and Lexus vehicles, according to Toyota North America. The app is integrated into the Toyota and Lexus smartphone apps and vehicle infotainment systems and can be downloaded via the Apple and Google Play app stores. Toyota will use Parkopedia's payment platform to handle payments with coverage across major parking providers, including 60,000 off-street locations and more than 6,000 reservable locations in the United States. You know, those megala monster. You know, you go downtown, it seems like every parking lot is owned by this one company. Can't
And
remember
they
their
charge
name.
you out the nose.
Out the wazoo.
And then when basketball or baseball are in town or there's an event downtown, the price triples.
Yeah.
'Cause
Nice
it's
folks.
got variable pricing.
Yeah, it's got that. General Motors will build some 20 21 full-size pickups and SUVs without the fuel-saving feature because of the global microchip shortage. Actually, it's going to be significant. The feature which turns off the engine when the vehicle isn't moving will no longer be available on select models of the 21 Chevy Tahoe and Suburban, the GMC Yukon and Yukon XL, and Cadillac Escalade and Escalade ESV SUVs. I don't call it Escalade. Have you noticed?
Escalade. Mm-hmm. Well, you've never been a fan of the auto start-stop anyhow.
I hate it. Absolutely despise it.
There is a true fuel performance benefit to it, but I know you're not a fan of it. I remember that Audi diesel we drove, and it almost felt like every time it turned off, it felt like somebody hit the back of it with another vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really aggressive.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's truly annoying. There are some cars that have more powerful engines that have the feature that you really don't feel it. And if that's the case, great. But most of them are these little bitty four-cylinder engines, and then when they start, they kind of shudder to a stop. And then when they start, they shutter open the same way. It just,
how's that go again, Jeff?
what is that?
No, that's you
That's
after
the sound
Mexican food.
he was making earlier today.
Was that you, Conrad?
That was him,
No,
yeah.
that wasn't me. Well, so you heard Nissan is set to reveal the 2022 Z car on August 17th, possibly bearing the name 400Z in reference to the likelihood of it having a 400 horsepower.
Why don't they just call it the Z and just leave it at that?
I think that would work, but they're saying it's going to have a twin turbo 3-liter 400 horsepower V6.
That wouldn't surprise me. All right. Time now for a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Show. We're coming to you live today from Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland. And if you're listening to this on a delayed basis, like on some sort of a fine replay, podcast, whatever the case may be, that's where we are. Wheelchairs for Warriors is the name of the actual beneficiary. Mm-hmm. And we are going to continue our broadcast right after a quick break. Stay with us. We invite you to stay with us. Is that okay? Will you stay here too?
I'm going to stay.
Thank you.
We all know about aftermarket and online parts stores, and each one has something to offer, but they don't offer original factory parts. That's where Bayway comes in. For original factory parts, visit the Bayway stores first. Give them a call or stop by. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln carry a complete line of parts for the do-it-yourselfer. Keeping your newer classic original means a lot, and you can count on these fully stocked parts departments to help keep it that way. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U on 59 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and West U. Weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show today, coming to you from Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland, Texas, and the inaugural car show extravaganza benefiting Wheelchairs for Warriors. Coming up this hour, we're going to talk to a few of the participants in today's car show. We'll take a look at the events calendar. Mr. Mars reviews the 2021 Cadillac CT5V. And we'll have this week's automotive news, all just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin,
Yes,
and David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. How you doing over there? You haven't said two words the entire show. Yeah,
here he goes.
call the microphone. I
It's
think you
David.
got your headset on backwards. And this
an
is our
engineering-
engineer.
it's an engineering trick.
Who makes fun of us when we
It's an
make a
engineering
faux pas.
trick.
We need an engineer here.
We do need an engineer here. It's good to see you, David.
And you. It's
Yeah.
it's a little warm, but
It is a
there's
little
a lot
warm.
of folks out here.
There are a lot of folks here, a lot of cars.
A lot.
And we would encourage you to come on out if you're out and about on a Sunday afternoon. It's kind of steamy, but so is everybody here. Everybody's all steamed up.
Oh, steamy.
I'm steamy over what just pulled up. Did you see that?
I did. I saw
It's
that.
a 70. Let's see. It's a 71 Hemi
Cuda convertible. White top with a white interior.
And I'm not real sure what
What about the
color
green?
they
Yes,
call
it's
that
a green, like a lime green, not a green.
So I'm
What did you say?
What color is it? Grabber
Grabber
green.
grabber green.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's probably a tribute car because if I remember,
be, yeah.
if I remember correctly, I think they only made 9 Hemi convertibles
And they're
in
coming back.
71.
The tribute colors are back as well.
Yep. Well, hopefully he'll come up and talk to us
There
and
you
tell
go.
us more about it. Because if that is
I like
if
the
that
way-
is a real one,
You
that
like
is
the
$1
way that
million
he just
car.
invites everybody
Yeah.
up here.
Come on up. Make me a sandwich.
Well,
Come
tell
on
us
up.
about your Corvette. But
Who are we
first, let's-
talking to here first? What is your name?
We'll start with your name,
Jess Charpentier.
Jess
Charpentier.
Charpentier, and you're a member of Space City Corvette Club.
Yes, but I bought my 66 T-Bird convertible.
Oh, bought you. Oh, well.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Do you have a Corvette?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you got a 66 T-Bird as well.
Yeah, I never thought I owned a 66 T-Bird, but I do.
And how did that come about, being a Corvette guy? You know, that's sacrilegious, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
It is.
Well, I bought it from my neighbor. It's been sitting in his garage for about 10 years. He bought it from some fella up north, and he was getting a divorce. So that's how I got it.
Got it.
So he lost the wife and the car together.
Well,
You could have taken the girl and the car. You could
no,
have really done
believe
him a
me,
favor.
yeah, no.
No, you didn't want it. He wanted only one headache,
So
not two.
what color do you call that?
It's called Sahara Beige.
Sahara beige, and it's got the tune-out cover on it. So
Yes.
it's got the back seat cover, which was actually a factory option, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Not a common one, but so you see them every now and then. So when you drove in, I saw that, and I'm like, that's actually pretty cool.
Wait,
little car.
wait, run that by me again.
So-
I don't understand what that means.
His Thunderbird is a
Yes.
4-seat car. Well, I don't think he could do. Is it buckets in the back? So there's bucket seats in the back. They actually have a cover that fits over the back seats that kind of gives like little headrest bumps to the front seats. You can't. Nobody can sit in the back with it, so it gives it the appearance of being a
why would they
two-seater.
make? There's a factory thing.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would they do that?
To make it cool to be a Corvette chaser.
No, but I mean, I'm seriously. I mean,
They
because
were-
I know that the Thunderbirds were 2-seat coupes that were
Originally.
actually, went up against the Corvettes back in the day. Well, I don't understand why they would put a back seat in there and then cover it up. Just kind of hang on to the past. Is that it?
You know?
He doesn't know
I
either.
have no idea.
I
know
think it's
that
just the style.
they sold more 4-seater Thunderbirds than 2-seaters, but I just think if you had the extra money and you want to look like Batman, that's what you did.
Yeah, because you got to go look at this. It's
You do
actually
kind of
pretty cool.
resemble Batman.
Well,
a little
thank you.
bit. Yeah, it's a compliment. I'm saying.
Says Ward Burton over here.
Lord Burton, that's it. Catwoman.
So what powertrain's in your T-Bird?
It's a 390, 350, 15 horse.
Okay.
It's all original. I sent the original radio to Florida. They fixed the 8-track and they Bluetooth the radio. Original upholstery, original. It possibly could be the original top on that car.
Oh wow.
Now I had it's a fun car. I had to do brakes, water pump, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So how many miles are on it that you can tell?
55,000 original miles.
AC
my
car?
gosh.
AC car, and the AC still works.
Oh wow. Still have the R12 in it, or has it been converted over?
His R12, I got off
Probably
eBay.
R6 by then. But
Yeah, could. So I bought 2 cans off eBay and put in it, and it works.
great.
Neat. So how often do you get it out cruising around in it?
Well, I try to rotate between the Corvette Club, and once or twice a week I go to the Seabrook there at Home Depot on
Okay.
Saturday nights. But my grandkids love the T-Bird.
Oh yeah, I would assume so. Now, do you take the two now off so they can ride in it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How heavy is that piece?
It's one man can do it.
Is it really? Okay. I've never handled one, but it really kind of spreads. It's
Yeah.
a big piece.
It is.
So I'm kind of, it's good to hear that it's kind of lightweight.
What's scary about that car is it's got 8 relays, and then it's got 4 limit switches.
To move the top up and down.
And it scares me because I'm always scared something's not going to work.
Right. Well, and
you won't know which one it is.
Well, no, you will, because if I'm correct, they happen in sequence.
Yes.
And if one happens out of
okay.
sequence, it just stops.
Well, then you got to find out. And so I keep a couple extra relays with me, but I just cross my fingers.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty creative the way that they did it. That the reason they sequence it is so something doesn't start working before it's time.
And something
let's say,
not and
right.
jam it up
Right.
and maybe
and
break
then break something,
Right.
break a big metal
Right.
piece. But there's some real skilled people out there that specialize in. I think there's a guy in Arkansas that specializes in those tops.
And
It's kind of like putting up the in-wheel time top.
Oh, yeah.
We can't ever do it without breaking it.
Or having 8 people do it.
Or 8 people do it, yeah. So it's kind of like that.
But it's got a fantastic it drives like a 60s car. It has amazing pickup for a big car. I mean, it'll run 100 miles an hour, even though it's 60 years old on the freeway, and feel safe doing that.
Four-wheel drums?
Yeah. No, it's got disc
Disc
in front.
fronts? Oh, wow.
This is supposed to be the last year of the convertible. I think they made 5,400 of these.
Oh, wow.
That's all. But I just thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay.
We appreciate you stopping by. It was a
Okay.
pleasure, sir.
If those
Will do.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good to know.
We had a volunteer. Maybe we can come with us and set this up and take it down for us.
Well, I mean,
We can't do it
because
ourselves.
He knows about relays. We could use help with the camera.
that's a pretty complicated top, and I know that our backdrop sign is pretty complicated too, because we can never seem to manage to get it up and get it down.
It's on a scissor frame.
Without breaking it.
On a scissor frame.
So there's that.
Yep. It'll work.
See, he drives in and immediately goes on the radio about his car.
And we should have invited him to Tailpipes and Tacos next week.
Well, we probably will.
You talking about me?
Talking about you.
You guys
No.
chased me down in the parking
He
lot.
chased you
That's right. Well, I saw you when you drove through this way. I'm like, 71 convertible Hemi.
70.
70?
71.
Fooled you. That's a 70 with 71 sheet metal.
Okay. Well, for me, the 71 is about the vertical slats in the grill. The 70 doesn't have the vertical slats in the grill. So that's why I said 70. I apologize. It's a 70, but you cheated.
Well, I didn't cheat. The guy by the name of Kevin out of Kentucky. I
You want
forgot
to
what.
still look closer up.
Okay.
We got
Out of
can-
Kentucky, built it. I just bought the car 3 weeks ago. And
Stunningly beautiful.
beautiful.
And can I assume it's a tribute car?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They only built 13
In 70?
in 71.
71. Okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was 9, but 13.
No, in Meekum they had one that showed up from France, an original car, and it got up to $4.7 million and didn't sell.
Well,
Yeah, I
maybe
wish
that's
that
why.
was that one right there. You know.
Exactly. Do I know you?
Have you ever watched Texas Metal?
Uh-huh.
I was a second episode.
Okay.
The Tugboat and Barge Company.
Yep.
We brought
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
I think I know you through Stan Holt and through he has car circle friends that I know.
Well, yeah, they did
Yeah.
Catalente for
Catalente, yeah.
for
Stan.
Stan
Oh
Holt.
yeah, Catalina. Yeah. We're all that same group.
Yeah.
Bill over there built I built a ¡55 Chevrolet truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
So I do know you.
Yeah, you do know me.
yeah,
I do know you.
we're sorry to hear that.
I don't have a TV.
We
so I've never seen it.
apologize. We have to drag him around because he's the talent, supposedly.
Well, I live off of Lake Houston, but I found a garage place over here I really like, so I bought a couple of garages, that Garage Ultimate or Ultimate Garage, whatever they call
Yeah.
it, off of 2351.
Yeah.
So I bought some garages. That's where these cars have been coming from, because the 57 Chevrolet over there's mine too.
Okay. Oh, wow. I love the Chevy, too, when it pulled in, because that's very factory colors, but not a very factory car.
It's got a LS1 in it with a 480 LE transmission.
Well,
Yeah,
I couldn't tell that, but I could hear the engine when he drove by.
You're a convertible guy, huh?
Well, it's only 2 convertibles I have.
Oh, okay.
So
What a great day to bring them out.
It is. It's just kind of hot. I didn't know if I wanted to bring that white top down or not yet.
So tell us about the CUDA.
Well, I went and looked at 2 cars. One car up at Volo Museum in Chicago, and another one at RK Motors in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Very famous place to buy.
Yeah,
cars
and
at
what I
RK.
really liked about those guys there is they put the car up on a rack, let you see everything. Underneath the car is as nice as it is on top. So they weren't trying to hide everything. It was an easy way to go buy a car. So, but I like going and see the car personally. I don't like sending somebody to go look at the car.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful car. The white interior, is it a torque flight or a shifter car?
It's a shifter, 4-speed. It's got the pistol shift.
grip?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got the correct engine. The guy went, when he started building the car, it was a 318 car,
Okay.
but it was 4-speed, and it was the Plum Crazy,
Mhm.
but he liked that green better. I think I like the green better, too. It's a
Oh.
little bit more shock factor.
It's definitely got shock factor.
Well, especially with the white.
the
white accent,
The white
yeah.
accents.
But he actually found a guy that was a big Mopar guy up in Kentucky, and the guy had passed away. And he had a couple of original blocks and heads and transmissions and rear end, so he went in there and just went to town and bought a bunch of stuff. So this guy he's built about 3 or 4 cars.
Of the tributes.
Yeah, the tributes.
So I'll ask the other question. You've been out to Hemi Hideout?
I have not yet. I heard a lot about it.
that's-
though.
You need to
you
come
need to
out.
go.
John Hovis is a very good friend of ours and a friend of the show. And
They just recently had an
you
event.
bring that out, and John will drool over it.
Well, you'll see others that John has as well.
Yeah, well, John's got a Hemi tribute, but
Right.
it's the
Yellow.
no the one he drives on the street.
Oh.
With the big fatties on the back.
It's a red one.
No,
it's a
it's
tubbed
it's
car.
a green one, but
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
You would appreciate it if you like.
and John would appreciate your cars as well, because he is quite the Mopar fanatic.
Do you know Dale Holquist?
I know Dale Holquist real well.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
sorry.
That's where the connection
gosh.
is.
He's done a lot of he does all my glass work, elite glass, but also my interior work.
Yes.
He's real good on interior work.
Yes, he is.
He's done a couple cars with me, and he's also a brother drag racer.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Oh, very much so.
We drag race a lot at Royal Purple, so
And so you know the Emmons brothers too.
I think I do.
I gotta admit it. Yeah, and they're probably watching.
Yeah, they got
this-
about 8 or 9 cars.
Yeah.
Here I am, just one car.
and they're interchangeable, right?
Yeah, they are.
So, Earl, what other cars do you have in your collection? I don't know why we haven't met before, but
We
you're
got,
walking around here, and I'm thinking, I know him.
Well, I was one of the nuts. I do like Mopar. I was one of the nuts that had to have a Demon. And so I waited the 9 months, and I got me I have a Demon. I have a mango
Right.
orange
Okay.
with the blacked off top and all that. And then I like the new Corvette, so we went and got a new Corvette. And what else?
So let me just say this about him. I really don't know him. This is the first time I've actually met him in person.
But you want to be him.
Well, Yeah, I guess everybody does. If you're a car guy, you always want to be the other guy, you know.
Right.
But I appreciate your taste and I appreciate your passion when it comes to cars, because you're one of us. And
Well, you know, I just sold my business, and so that's why I kind of appreciate them a little bit more right now.
did
So,
you sell your business?
I did. I sold my business.
Well,
back
Lord,
in
I mean,
November.
that's your baby, isn't it? I mean,
I'm a
you-
consultant for 3 years, so they'll let me in the gate every now and then.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think
But
so.
but you've owned your business for a long time.
45 years.
Yeah. So you're just ready to say I'm done?
Well, I turned 65 years old 2 weekends
But
ago.
that
so
doesn't
it's-
mean anything. You know that as well as I do.
Well, that's a benchmark where you're supposed to retire, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
that's
that-
what they say.
That's Memorial Weekend, right?
Memorial Weekend.
I turned 64. over that
Really?
weekend,
But he's still working.
Yeah.
But he's
He's
still
got
working.
another year to go.
He's got another year to
10.
go.
Yeah. So,
Well, I'm still going to work. It's just not going to be in that business.
got you. You've made the connections for 45 years. Now we're going to farm those for a while. I got it. So, do you live nearby? No.
Well, I've got that shop down here. At
Right, the
garage,
shop, yeah.
the
Said he
garage,
lived up-
but I live on Lake Houston.
Okay. You said that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so clearly you had help getting 3 cars here.
The 2 cars. The other car, I didn't bring in more cars.
Oh, just the 2?
Yeah, the 57 and the.
Okay.
And you park next to the ambulance. Have you seen
Yeah.
that one before?
I have not.
There's
Isn't that a cool car?
There's
Have
a
you
pattern
talked to
of
him?
guests here.
Yeah,
It
we
was a 57 Chevrolet, so I had to park next to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had them when we talked to them, and they
They're right
said,
over here.
Yeah. They,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a great couple, and
They were telling us a
fascinating.
story about
that
it.
ambulance has got a great story, and he can tell you all the details on it.
Was
And-
it got an original 283 in it?
Yeah.
They said it was one of 7 that was built.
All,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
All 7 are
fascinating-
still in existence.
The fascinating thing about that is that they cut the car right back past the B pillar, and I guess that all the rest of it is hand built from the back end. It's unbelievable. I had no clue. I don't know how they make any money off of something like that, but apparently they didn't.
Well, I just
7
hope that
cars.
you guys don't need it for its intended purpose.
Well,
Right,
it's an
intended purpose.
ambulance hearse combo.
Uh-oh.
And their last name is Graves, of
Yeah.
all things.
Oh, really? You should have painted the thing black and put a motif of a cemetery or a mortuary or something on the side of it to go all the way.
Well, they have the matching 57 truck to go with it.
Yeah. So, what are your plans now that you're retired?
Well, I've got my granddaughter visiting. She just graduated high school. She's going to be here in a little bit.
Oh, cool.
And they call it the It Girl. She's a cover model on a magazine, but she also did cheerleading in high school. She's a wrestler, and she got her ASC certification for automotive in high school.
Good for her.
Great.
And so we're building a 1955 Chevy Gasser straight axle car at my shop just right down the road. And she is an awesome MIG welder. And
Really?
So we're changing the floorboards out in the car. In fact, I've got pictures on my phone right here showing her. She's grinding it, preparing the surface where the 2 butt
Yeah.
pieces are on the floorboard. And she's welding it, and then she's down there with a grinder. She's getting with it. She's got her coveralls, and she's having fun. She's in heaven right now with Grandpa.
I was going to say, that's
That is-
skills.
That is awesome.
Welding skills is one I never got.
So tell me about Bill up there at Extensive, and how was that? How was that marriage? How did you
Had
manage
that
to get
experience.
him to do your work?
I had a 66 Chevy pickup that I wanted to bag that had a blower motor in it, and you went to different places and they could do the bolt-on stuff, but they couldn't actually do
the metal work.
the fabrication. And he is what you see. He's actually in there working.
Right.
You know, he's the real deal.
Well, yeah, I think it was his work that ended up developing into the company that he's got. Listening to the story, I think it was his dad kind of.
His dad grew up on that piece of property. His dad had a little welding shop.
Mm-hmm.
But and then his best friend Tim works there with him, and then he's got another, a big group around him and all.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill's a lot of fun. You could see, he just got into his wife's Cadillac, kind of did a little bit. He can't leave stuff alone. I don't know if you've seen that Denali
Yep.
kind of that he put up in the air.
Up in the air, you need an elevator to get into it.
But what's funny is Tim has a white F-250 pickup truck,
With all the tubes.
but Bill was 2 inches higher. So Tim tore that truck completely apart. Now he's higher than Bill is.
Until,
he couldn't stand
until
it.
Tim redoes his, yeah. Until Bill redoes his.
That's too funny. So, because that was a few 2-3 years ago.
That's about 3 years ago when they did my truck. But after he did that one vehicle for him, the '66 Chevy, I told him, I said, I got a purple truck that something's wrong with the brakes. That sucker doesn't want to stop. And I said, I'd like to put some brakes on it and, just maybe a little bit with the interior or whatever. And he come over and looked at the truck. And first he called it the Barney Mobile because it was purple. And purple's a nice color on a car, but he just did not like that purple. He made fun of me the whole time. So he got the truck over there, and we were just going to do a little bit of interior and put the brakes on it. And then it went from one thing. We're going to pull the bed up and do the bed, put wood in the bed. And then we're going to raise the blower and put your hood back on. And so – after a couple months, they just, well, Earl, you just need to go ahead and repaint that truck,
And you did.
And so I did, but I let him paint it the color he wanted to paint it. So it was a surprise.
Now, does he have a paint shop on Promise?
He's got a paint shop. He's got another guy by the name of John that owns Twisted Interiors that does his interiors.
And the interior work they do is superb.
Right.
It's very out of the box stuff. And this guy just kind of thinks out of the box. He'll fab something that's kind of all swoopy looking and then lay lights and glass and plexiglass and stuff on it, kind of almost make it dance. They did the starlights in the roof panels.
In the milk truck.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
With all the fiber optics and stuff. Yeah. But some real talented folks up there.
Well, guys, it's been fun.
Well, it has been.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
I think I've got a granddaughter showing up, and I'm supposed to be hanging out with her, and she's a lot cuter than you guys are.
So does she get to drive the Hemi?
No, she's not on my insurance. She's 18 years old. I don't think I can afford that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, guys.
Earl, thank you very much. We really
problem.
appreciate
It's a pleasure.
your time.
You bet.
Take care.
And we'll see you again, I know. We will.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, time now for the events calendar. You got something going on in the events calendar?
Oh, yeah. Well, next weekend is Tailpipes and Tacos out at Katy location off of Kingsland and 99.
That's 8 to 11.
8 to 11. And then also Pictures with Race Cars at the Chick-fil-A off of 2920 in Tomball. That's from 11 to 2. Also on June 19th is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is car meet at Brewster's Real Ice Cream at 7939 Louetta in Spring. And then there's also going to be down off of Telephone Road a charity show for a baseball team, and that's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Cool. And now look what time it is.
That's right.
The time is for Mr. Mars
Ta-da.
to do his review of the Cadillac CT5V.
Well, let me tell you about that car.
Please do.
I did that review yesterday
He did.
because I screwed up on the schedule and put it
Remember?
up yesterday.
Today's a Mercedes.
And today I'm doing the Mercedes that I had on the schedule for yesterday, but I did the Caddy because I did the Caddy for the schedule for today, but I actually did it yesterday on your copy.
Doo-dah, doo-dah.
So now here's Mike with something mysterious and new.
The mysterious new car showroom.
Here we go.
Where we're talking about the 2021 Mercedes-Benz E450 Formatic Coupe. So this is the all-wheel drive version. They've been putting the E-Series out since 2017. Got a lot of different things you can get in that you can get a sedan, you can get a wagon, you can get a coupe, and you can get a convertible. We happen to have the E450 Coupe. Now, for 2021, it's got a few things that are new to it. We happen to have the night package. So the front, there's a splitter, the rear diffuser, got side mirrors, and window trim is all blacked out, nice black, and that even matches the 19-inch AMG wheels that have black accents that are on it. I would like to note that this was a beautiful red color. It was a $1,000 option to have that color of paint on it.
Really?
What is up with that? Would you please explain that to us?
Well, a lot of times those paints are a tri-coat paint that they do, and they just charge extra because it's an extra process.
So can you actually get a regular car that has regular paint on it that you don't have to pay even more for?
Correct.
I think so. But this is it was listed as a $1,000 option.
No, I hear you.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
So up front, we're going to find adaptive high beam lighting. It's all LED lighting all the way around. We had a power sunroof, which on a day like today, I would not be a particular fan of. But when we got into the inside of it, again, this is some really cool stuff. We had the white Napa leather interior, which is another little option that we could have. Had the rapid heating front seats so that it didn't take very long to heat up if you need some heat back there.
Oh, yeah, like today.
Even heated armrests on this particular vehicle to go along with the massaging seats up front. The rear seat is a split folding seat, so you can put some stuff in there. We had the 12.3-inch touchscreen in the middle connected to the 12.3-inch digital instrument panel, so it looks like this really long, 2-foot-long panel there that's got all your digital stuff on it. It all looks like one big one.
You used that massaging seat a lot, didn't you?
I sure did, every chance I got. And this is also where you're going to find the Mercedes user experience, so it's real nice and convenient to have all that up there. We even had a heads-up display and the surround view camera, so we had a lot of technology here so that we could see a lot of things from the driver's compartment. It had a wireless charging system, and this is one of the few that I got to work for my camera. I've always had a problem with my camera and my camera case, but this one picked it up and jumped all over it.
Your camera and every other camera that you own.
That's right. It's kind of tough. It also had the lighted door seals and what they call the soft closed doors. When you go to close the doors, it's kind of a nice
pulls
luxury
it in,
touch.
you kind of close it, and then it pulls it in.
So when you're
the
trying to
windows
get
kinda
in the
cracking in.
house about 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to wake up your wife or the
That's
neighbors.
right.
That'll do it.
And, of course, you got to keep if you're doing that, you got to keep the Burmeister surround sound system turned down.
You
if
sure
that's what
do.
you're after.
Yeah, I've always said that.
The Burmeister.
Yes. Now, to keep this thing running like you want it to, because it's a coupe and it's all-wheel drive, had a 3.0 inline 6-cylinder turbo up front, 362 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, this is a mild hybrid. And so you've got this electric connection there, and really what this does, it does have the start and stop system in it, but you really don't notice it. It pretty well eliminates that because of the way it reacts. But they're still calling it a mild hybrid. And you can take this thing and you can crank it up and put it over into the sport drive mode. And it adjusts it to a certain extent, but it's kind of like a comfortable sport mode. It doesn't really get rough or anything like that. It's more like a fun coupe driving car. And because of the hybrid situation on it, the Monroney we had didn't have any final details on it, but I found several places that rated it at a combined EPA rating of 26 because of the hybrid. I happened to get 24. Had to move around a little bit and check it all out. One thing about ride and handling, now it had the air suspension on it for the body roll control system. So when you go around the corners and stuff, it kind of wants to compensate for that, but it was really a quiet ride. And the mild hybrid, like I say, it makes the start-stop almost unnoticeable in this vehicle. So if you're looking for something to compare it to, you might look at the BMW 5 Series. Going to start up around 54.2. Audi A6 starts at 54.9 and goes up with options. Even the Cadillac CT5 at 47,795 falls into that same category.
You bet it does.
With options going up on that. Now, the base coupe that we were looking at was $67,450. Now, MSRP is tested. We had a few options, including the AMG styling package for $2,300 and a couple of the others I mentioned. But MSRP is tested $85,849.
I just wanted to mention to you, the Burmeister, I had a pair of those shoes, and they were absolutely awesome.
The surround sound.
The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available at your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Let me tell you about a locally owned and operated group of dealerships called Bayway. Bayway owner Daryl Wisniewski is born and raised right here, and he knows Houstonians better than anyone. Bayway Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Bayway Lincoln, and Bayway Chevrolet are managed by Lincoln Stahl. And when you get to know these guys, you'll want to become part of the Bayway family, too. Feel good that you're part of Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.com, BaywayChevrolet.com, and BaywayLincoln.com. Remember the name, Bayway. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Lupi Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Lupi Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U 159 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer car enthusiast and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise hit, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Real Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and Westview, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Real Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Today, coming to you from Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland, Texas, in the Wheelchairs for Warriors Car Show. We invite you to come on out. We got another couple of hours to go down here, and we sure would like to see you show your pretty face.
Yes, sir.
I haven't been around, but Mike's been around. Is the place filled up?
Pretty full.
Good.
It really is. There's people looking for parking spots. They're actually parking back on the back 40 back there.
Let me ask you something. Are the food trucks out there now?
There's a few out there.
Are
yes,
they
sir.
open?
Yes.
Is the cocktail one open? They're out of ice. Perfect. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Bars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin.
We do.
I'm Don Armstrong. It's good to have you here, along with David Ainsley. Let's not forget him. Mr. Vacation. Mr. Ainsley's going to take his yearly sabbatical up to the UP of Michigan. And
He's never invited us to go along.
No, he
with
hasn't.
him.
And nor
And
would.
I hear it's a beautiful place.
If I were him, I wouldn't invite us either. Is this a 2 or 3 weeker?
It's a 3-weeker, and the remote's going to be up there, so we're going to broadcast from the lake.
And
But there's no wheels up there unless they're attached to a wagon.
Well, they carry the boats around, or trailers.
But aren't you in an area that is vehicle
You're thinking of Mackinac
free?
Island. You're thinking of Mackinac
Yeah, we're
Island.
close to Mackinac.
They're not on Mackinac.
Okay, yeah.
He can see it from the back porch.
Now,
That's
Mackinac Bridge is actually a grated bridge. You can see through because it's grated.
It's falling
And-
into the water.
And you can actually, if you're afraid to drive it because there's turbulence and wind, they shut it down periodically for winds over, 28 miles an hour. They will shut the bridge down. But if you're bold enough to do it yourself, or you can rent a driver to drive your car over with you. Little tidbit. Jeff's
So you
Did
tidbit.
you know
drive
all
your-
this?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you drive your car over the Mackinac Bridge to get on Mackinac Island, and then you're not allowed to drive your car
No,
around
no, no.
Mackinac Island.
No.
Just a big parking lot on the other side.
You have to take a ferry boat
Yeah,
to
the island. Once you get on Mackinac.
There's
The
only
Mackinac Bridge is what it's named.
the bridge ties the lower peninsula to,
To the upper peninsula. But the island is named Mackinac because
And
it's,
they shut it off every Labor Day.
Right.
So you can walk across it.
yeah. But it's
Okay.
graded. It's grading. You can see right through it.
But the heat isn't like this.
It's the humidity.
There is no heat.
It's 75 degrees there
Right.
for the high.
So if you're afraid of walking over the grate, can somebody do the walking for you?
They'll carry you, sure.
Get a piggyback ride?
Rent
It'd be a
a
good business
walker.
to start. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Mars, one of the things that I noticed here is that there is a very wide array of automobiles.
Oh, there is.
Matter of fact, there is that a 70 Chevy 3/4 ton there?
Yep. Looks to be.
Something like that. It's a flatbed on the back of it, single cab, very nicely done. I don't know what the guy does, but good job. Got the big trucker wheels on it and everything. Looks good. We have the Model A over here.
Got the early 60s Dodge Dart 4-door. That's
And then we got the
pristine looking.
70 SS. That's a 396, I believe.
I believe it's a tribute car.
But whatever. Greg Enders had a car. No, that's an El Camino.
Yeah.
Sorry.
El Camino.
Yeah.
70 is an El Camino there. And then there are a couple of Chevelles. There's a beautiful blue and white Chevy. It's a 396. I don't know if it's a true SS convertible sitting around the corner of the building.
I saw the 396. And then there is the O.J. Simpson Bronco over here.
It just needs to be white.
In red, yeah.
I was, you don't see those very often anymore.
No.
And there were a bajillion of them
Back
made.
in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he advertise or was a spokesman for Hertz? And Hertz
He
had
was.
him.
Let Hertz put you in the driver's seat today.
And it comes with driving gloves and everything.
There's two interesting cars on the other end of this building from where we're at. Haven't been able to find, and rumor has it, from what I can tell, that they came out of that back building over there. They were undercover inside the building.
Yes.
Is that the yellow?
The yellow road, the yellow coupe.
Yes.
Like a 32
Ford
with a
American
427
Graffiti
big
coupe.
block, and there's a 63 convertible with a 427 big block that looks very factory.
But here's
Can't tell for sure.
May I just say this about what little I know about the car? Daryl owns that car.
Right.
Well, I kind of thought that once I heard it came out of the back warehouse.
And actually, Conrad was the one that told me that it sits on a C5 frame, which is what I have as a C5 Corvette.
You talking about the
black,
Coopster?
no, the black one. There's a black 63 drove through here.
It looks like a 63.
Yeah, in little things are out of proportion.
It's modified.
On it.
Convertible?
No. It was a.
It looks like a split window. It looks like a split window, 427 fuel injected coupe.
But it sounds like a
Corvette.
Billy Bad
Corvette.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the Ford convertible with the big block, the Roadster, and then that Corvette with the flared fenders and all kinds of things on it. Yeah.
But that's
that
actually on that's 60. What looks to be a 63 Corvette's on a C5 chassis.
And that 63 split window is custom made. If you look at it, the glass is flush.
Oh, wow.
So there's no molding around it or anything like that.
I didn't look at it that close.
Well, look at it that close next time you go by.
It was
you're gonna go. It is
very cool car.
It is. It's very well done.
And it's got the rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah. It's
the side pipes and all of the badging. It's got all the good stuff that you would want on your car, except the interior is like from a late model, which it is. But the car is old school. It's what you would truly call a real resto mod.
And there are businesses that do that. They'll put the modern technology chassis, electronics, and things with an old school body.
And you look at that
Just
car.
depends on how much money you have.
You just look at it from the side. You're going
six figures.
67. And then you go around the back. No, wait, it's a 63.
Yeah, 62 Corvette, C2 Corvette.
And you look around the side, it's 61.
And then you look at the interior, and it's a C5 or C6 Corvette.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're going, how did this all come together? But it is absolutely beautifully
Pristine,
done. Yeah.
And then sinister black. I mean, that was
with the red interior.
Absolutely
it
sinister.
looks like a road
looking.
racer with the flared back wheels and the big meat under it. I went through it kind of quick because I was looking for the owner of the Roadster and the Ford convertible sitting next to it.
Yeah, it's the
But
guy
I'll
who
have
owns
to look
the
at it
dealership.
a little bit better.
You know, I will admit that I've done some work in the past week on my Corvette and took those door bumper guards off the sides of it, and I think it looks a lot better.
It does.
And there's only one other thing that I would really think about doing today. Well, a couple of things. You're never finished, you know.
The pink
I've
pinstripe.
always wanted to have a red interior, a black
Blood
car
red.
with a red interior.
Blood red.
But I don't want the door panels red. I don't want any of that. I want the door panels black. I want the black carpet.
black, red
I want
seats.
the red seats.
That would be quite easy to do in yours.
I know.
Absolutely.
And you probably
Drill them out of there and drill them back in there.
You probably know somebody named Dale Holquist with Elite Interior or Glass and Trim that could do it for you
I
in
know.
an afternoon.
He might even have a set of seats like in the back.
He could very well have that. So he may very well have that. I just don't know. But that's on the list. And I did. Remember we had a discussion. This was many months ago. We had a discussion about whether I do a turbocharger or a supercharger. And everybody's doing turbochargers these days. So you know me, I always kind of went against the grain.
Supercharger's
So-
super easy.
Yeah, well, it is, and it's expensive.
Well,
And they make noise.
Just
it's only
the,
money.
Just the kit itself is $7,000, and then you're going to have to slave over the instruction booklet and pretending to be some guru under the hood. Which
Notice
I'm
he
not.
said you're going to have to.
It's only money, Don. You can't take it with you, and you're getting closer to giving it away.
Oh. Okay, so we got red interior and a supercharger.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got that. You trying to hand me this?
He's trying to hand it to you.
I'm too old to reach over any further.
Is that, well, I think it's the heat that has something to do with it.
And that's one of the things we don't have a lot of camera shots, folks, out in the car
peanut
show
gallery?
in the car show area because of the cameras are overheating in this 8,000 degree heat.
So before we went on the air, I had a chance to walk the show, and I came across a 1967 Camaro right over there that is a really pretty metallic maroon. Would that be fair to say? Yeah. Put that
Eggplant.
Eggplant. Yeah, that's it.
Not very flattering of a name, but
Well, that works. Everybody knows what an eggplant looks like.
Well, you dated a girl nicknamed Eggplant, didn't you?
Let's not go there at the moment.
You really want me to start on the eggplant thing?
the
No,
emoji.
we don't.
Tell
us about your Camaro.
Just a minute.
You guys are going to wander off
we're gonna
someplace
get
we
in
don't
trouble.
belong in.
So
Again.
I stopped by because he was kind of wandering around in this little area that had that Corvette that we were just discussing, the 63/67/homologation thing. And he's standing there and he's polishing up the car. And I asked him, is that yours? No, that's not mine. This is mine over here. And it had a 671 blower sticking out of the hood. Actually, the hood was open, but, you know, all of the stuff that goes on top of the engine called the blower. Yeah. And so I stopped and chatted with him for a minute. And he's owned this car for a while. And it's gone through many iterations. Under his own tutelage that he did with those hands himself. His name is Rick Hawkins. It's a 1967 Camaro with a 385 cubic inch.
Yes.
So you've obviously bored it out just a little bit.
40,000.
Yeah. See, you pumped it up a little bit. So 40,000s, I think you'd have to change the pistons in it, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put custom pistons in it.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you over here on this side of the tracks.
Yeah.
So I thought,
That's
this would be you'd be a good person to talk to let everybody know about your '67 Camaro. And how long have you owned that car?
I've owned it probably close to 20 years.
20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
But when you got it, it was
Just a 6-cylinder standard working man's car.
Camaro.
Working
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's done a lot of work. The biggest of which that is most notable is that motor.
Yeah.
And I believe that you said something to me about 600 some odd horsepower
It dynoed 650 horsepower
Wow.
in its current setup on pump gas.
on pump gas.
Yep.
Now, if you change the pulleys around a little bit and you put some race gas in it, then what?
850.
850.
He was quick to spit that in. Yeah, you
course.
tried that, huh?
Yeah.
Hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah, watch this. Hold my beer. Yeah.
So have you had this to the track?
No, because it doesn't have a roll cage and
Oh.
drive shaft loop.
Makes
and
sense, yeah.
Harness
All the
CD.
safety
It's
things
actually a
required.
dangerous car for the track. So we just do red light stuff.
Oh,
Go to Sonic on Friday night, get a chili dog, you know.
so does Mike. Mike does that.
That's
So
old
what
school hot
kind
rodding.
what kind of suspension upgrades have you done on it?
It's got a Heights 4-link
Okay.
underneath, though, and a 9-inch Ford, 411 gear.
A
10-inch
411.
411. Mickey Thompson street legal.
4-speed?
4-speed, Muncie M22 Rock Crusher.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's done it right.
Yeah, the old school way. Because today, that's not all that.
Yeah, I know.
You know, with the young guys. But
Yeah.
you, sir, are a god. Yeah. So, yes.
And got a great mustache.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. You've been working on that a while, too.
Yeah, 6 months.
6 months.
I retired 6 months ago, so I let my hair grow and everything grow.
Me too.
At my age, if something wants to grow, you should let it.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, I could get it to grow on my ears, not on my head. It's another story we don't want to go into.
No.
Thank you.
You started off the wrong foot
So,
with the eggplant.
Tell us, when you bought it as a 6-cylinder, did you immediately go to the blower motor? Or has it gone through different stages?
No. What I wound up doing was just going down to the local core supply place, and I bought a junk block, a 4-bolt main block. Took it to the machine shop. They said, this ain't no good. It's already 80 over. Took it back. They took that one back, gave me another one, took it to the machine shop, and they said, we can work with this one. and we built it from there initially. And the initial build, we just did it aspirated. We had a Da Vinci carburetor put on it. You remember the Da Vinci?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Rags to riches and back to rags.
Very, very cool carburetor.
Yes, yes. And so we were doing about 450 horsepower. And before we did anything cosmetic, we were playing with it like that. And I told my grandson, we're not really going to be happy with this thing until we got a blower sticking out of the hood.
Oh, gosh.
And he said, you're right, Pop.
How old's your grandson?
My grandson?
How old is he?
He's 22 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it's probably been 2 or 3 years ago before we started this.
Just at the right age.
And
to appreciate
we found out how much we had to do in order to convert it to a blower and do it properly.
Right.
So obviously we had to pull the motor out, break it down, put custom pistons in it, change the cam. And
lower the compression ratio.
Lower compression ratio. Right now we're doing about 8 to 1.
Well, and for that kind of power, chassis, frame connectors,
we had to do
all of that's got
subframe connectors.
That's why you went with the Ford 9-inch.
Yep.
Yep. The Ford diff.
Yeah, we wanted to build the rear end for bare, and then we would find the weakest link in between. I've split 2 transmissions launching it. This is the third one.
Yeah, that crack in the body straight underneath the input
just
shaft.
Oil on the ground.
It crushes rocks and casings.
And that's when I convinced my wife I'm buying a car lift. I'm not calling her a car no more.
So how many, you got any other toys at the house?
I've got a 41 Pontiac.
Oh,
that
wow. Nice.
That I rescued out of a barn in Kansas. And we left the patina on the outside. It's a wonderful car. And it just needed some TLC. I had to use WD-40 and work everything free. And took the head off and cleaned everything good and put it all back on with a new head gasket, and it runs like a charm.
Is it flathead 6?
Yep, flathead 6. It's a torpedo streamliner.
Not really a project car, but you're maintaining it to
Exactly.
run.
Well, and as they say these days, it's a preservation, not a
There you go.
restoration.
Yeah.
So we just waxed the outside, kept the patina, but the inside, when I realized back in those days they did what they call a faux wood grain.
Yep.
And to recreate that was going to be a learning experience that I didn't want to go through. And in order to pay someone to do that would have probably been quite expensive. Once I found out the dash was removable in that car, we took it and had it hydro-dipped.
Oh, okay.
With the wood grain. It's beautiful at a very inexpensive price.
And think about that technology, though, the hydro dipping, which basically they apply a vinyl surface to the water and then dip it in.
Yeah, it's a film.
It attaches to it.
Like a film that's on the wall, yep.
How cool is that?
I've seen that done one time, and I'm going, you've got to be kidding me.
It's
How
becoming
cool is that?
popular not only with automobiles, but with other products as well.
And you can do any design on it you want.
You're only limited to the films that are available to you.
Sure.
We found this wood grain film. There were several, and the one I chose, which is, I think, the best looking one.
Of course,
It came out of California. It was quite inexpensive. So,
Yeah.
But the guy did a wonderful job. Aqua Dip in Woodlands did it for me. And to do all the interior, all the window trims, the rear window trim, and the dash and everything was $350.
Oh my
Not
gosh,
bad.
that's
You couldn't
nothing.
beat it.
Great.
You couldn't have done one of the window trims back to original,
Or
for
in a
that
chrome
kind
or
of price,
stainless.
right?
I guess the only other thing you might have considered would to do a wrap.
Okay.
As
Yeah, but
opposed to
the film is so much thicker on a wrap, isn't it? Than what
Yes.
you do in the hydro
yes,
dip.
right. Yeah, and
I'm sure Aqua Dip appreciates the shout out.
well, that was one of the things I've kind of kept that up. A lot of people, they look at the front of the car, and that's what it would look like at night.
Oh wow.
There's LEDs. It's like a shadow box. It shines through all the little bow tie emblems individually.
Oh cool.
So
Neat stuff.
So I assume in your retirement now,
yes.
there's not much of retirement to it. You've gotten
Oh
yourself.
no, I stay busy. Yes.
Yeah.
As my son said once before, I'm not very good at sitting still. So,
Well,
and he's right.
yeah. Now, do you live close by here?
I live in Conroe.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you're the one that told me that you had to trailer the Camaro
Yeah,
down
trailer
here.
down. There's not enough gas stations on the way to.
I told you that when they were talking about it this morning. I said there's gas stations, not mileage.
Right. So what would you say is the actual gas mileage doing? Say 60 miles an hour between your house and here.
I have no idea.
4?
Make it up.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Make it up.
on a good day.
Yeah, because you got that 411 gear in it. It's going to be, you're going to be cranking some RPM at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, we about 6,500 is where we stopped making power. So that's and with the 411 gear, you should be screaming
gonna say,
coming
you
down
get-
the highway.
Yeah.
You get there relatively quick
Yeah.
to that kind of RPM with the
Right.
411s. My Oldsmobile's got a 342s in it. It screams at 75 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It's,
it's-
you know,
That's why everybody's going with the Tremix, like they have the overdrive.
or
Right,
the
right.
Which I've got a 55 Chevy 2-door post 150. I was going to make it into a cruiser, and I've decided to make it just primarily track machine, and that's what we're doing right now. We got it on a rotisserie tub in it,
Oh wow!
so we're going to do 850 horsepower with this one, and run
And
it on
drag strip.
drag strip.
Do you have neighbors that still talk to you?
I live in an area where neighbors don't. It's what do they call that? It's
You
not
got
re-
acreage.
It's unrestricted.
Yeah.
I can stack junk cars as high as I want. No one can.
Oh
say
no!
nothing.
The point, I think his point was when you fire one of
Noise,
those up.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it rarely does that. It goes from the trailer to the show, and then so far that's all it's done.
Have you fired it up here?
Well, when I backed it out and
Oh, you
parked
backed
it,
it out.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
But since then, no, I
We're
haven't.
going to need to
started.
look at that.
Yeah.
Get real close and listen. Here.
Go
Here.
get it and bring it by.
I don't think they
As
want
long
him
as it
driving it
As
around.
long as they don't offend anybody in the show. It's,
Oh, I. Be
Is it
honest
an
with you,
open
I think
exhaust?
everybody
there would
here
be
would be
somebody that
thrilled
would
to death with
complain.
it.
Well,
No.
somebody would complain. You know
Look,
that.
Yeah.
Is it an open
Go
exhaust?
somewhere else.
No, it's muffler. Yeah.
So you hoping to win something today?
Well, I'd love to. That's one of the main purposes of it. But
Sure.
really, I get my rewards from the response I get from the general public.
Oh yeah.
And,
How much
and
they
having
like to
these
see.
folks talk to
And
you
we're
about
general
Yeah.
public.
it.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
We're
just
general.
admirers.
We're public.
And
Oh.
it's ironic during the build. One of the things I did when I did the filler panels, I realized everybody was doing that because you can see all the junk that you don't want
Yeah.
to be looking at, wires and horns. And when I looked at everything that was going on, I said, well, they all look the same. It's like it's a Me Too thing. I said, I got to do something different, something unique. So I decided, well, the bow tie theme. So I made 3 different templates, one with large ones, medium, and small ones. And I asked all my family members what was their opinion. And they all voted on the small ones. So that's what I went with.
Very good.
And then fill them in with the LEDs.
Exactly. And my son has a laser at home. He cut all the little bow ties out. We had to do like 2 or 3 of them to get the right fit. But again, it's like a shadow box. The LEDs are captured inside. Light can only go one way, and that's
Yep.
up.
How cool is that?
So-
And then the event raising money for wheelchairs for warriors. Can't
that's-
go wrong
that's a big deal.
supporting a program like
Yes.
that.
I spent 2 years in Vietnam myself, so
No, thank you very much for your service.
it was my honor to do it.
What branch?
Army.
Okay.
I had a 50 caliber machine gun and convoys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Restore one of those. That'd be cool.
Strap it on the top of a
There you go.
Yeah, on the top of the blower.
Top of the Corvette.
Yeah, I know.
clear traffic. All right. Hey, I got to get to the gas station. Get out of my way.
That's Don's right there. That one there.
Well, Rick, it's a pleasure to talk to you. We thank you so much for stopping by today.
Yeah. It's great
Congratulations
talking
on
to
the
you guys.
job well
Stunningly
done on
beautiful
your
car.
Thanks a lot.
67
It's-
Camaro.
It
And
means a lot to get that kind of attention,
Yeah.
after all the hard work on it.
yeah,
So.
absolutely. I can totally relate. All right, well, thanks again.
You
And we
bet.
hope to run into you again soon.
You will.
All right.
Thanks.
Eggplant.
Eggplant.
I'd call it royal purple.
Actually, the original color was royal plum.
Royal plum.
Oh.
Paint code MM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't do plum crazy.
Well, you can, but I think
But
that's
that's a
been
Chrysler-
used
that's a
up.
Chrysler
Yeah,
color.
that too.
You could. They just have to track you down.
Right.
All right, time now for a couple of the stories making automotive news headlines. The 2022, I see there's lots of Corvettes around us here
Yeah.
today.
Oh, gosh.
There's like 100 of them back behind us. So I thought that this was appropriate. The 2022 Chevrolet Corvette on sale this year will come with an upgraded fuel system, additional colors, and a special edition similar to racing models.
Oh.
To meet a new particulate emissions requirement, GM had to re-engineer much of the engine and fuel management system, he said, the spokesman. But the 2022 model maintained 490 horsepower or 495 horsepower on available performance exhaust systems. The 2022 model also comes in 3 new exterior colors, thing called hypersonic gray. What's the attraction to gray all of a sudden?
It's been around a couple of years. It's become
but,
popular.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
Toyota started it.
The hypersonic gray is also the color that they use in their IMSA GTLM car and it's going to be the color that they're going to use at Le Mans this year.
Well,
And I think that they're also using it on that SRX series that ran last
they
night on
are.
TV.
Yeah, I saw that, quite a bit of that.
The coupe model starts at $62,195. Chevy revealed the special edition model Wednesday ahead of the Detroit Grand Prix. Chevy returning to the Detroit track for the first time in 13 years. Chevy canceled the remaining 2021 Corvette allocations, and customers who ordered a 21 model that has not been built will get a 22 model instead.
Oh, more money?
You know it. I don't know what it is, but you know it's going to be.
And people will be in line to pay it.
Yeah. I'm good with my little old Corvette.
Yeah, yours
there.
is nice. There's nothing wrong with that.
Thanks.
You got new shoes. Baby's got new shoes.
Baby's,
you got
yeah,
little
new shoes,
customization to the body.
Right.
And, it's clean. It's had the wax. What do you call that? The
ceramic coating.
That's the word.
By
yep.
Gulf Coast Auto
There
Shield.
you go. So
right.
it's looking good.
And John, by the way, bought himself a brand new Shelby GT500.
You were telling me about that, yeah.
Oh my God, that car should be here. You ought to hear it. You ought to feel it when he's on the throttle.
Taste it.
Oh my God, it is.
Smell
That
it.
is an absolutely awesome car. They did a good job.
And what color did you get?
It's pumpkin orange. I don't know what color you want to call it, but
pumpkin orange is
it's orange.
Yeah.
Fulmer orange. George Fulmer used to race a orange Mustang back in the Trans Am series, and I don't know if that's the name of the color, but that's a
72. My 72 Nova was orange flame.
Orange
It
flame.
was a little bit off of red, not a bright red, but it was orange flame.
Factory color.
Yeah.
And now,
The Nova?
and now Jeff's a flame.
Yeah.
Flaming something.
I did get certification in my. I'm an official twerking instructor. When we were off that weekend, I
Twerking instructor. I'm glad I
did my
missed that.
certifications.
Was it twerking?
Twerking instructor?
Because with me, it'd be called torquing.
Yeah. Well.
Because once it got going one direction, it'd be tough to change direction.
Switch tassels.
You got to remember, yesterday we talked about my toenails.
Yes, which got quite a bit of play apparently.
Apparently it did.
And apparently, that Jeff over there,
Jeff Heitzman.
Yeah, he was all over it.
Yeah.
Well, Cindy got a couple of phone calls yesterday, so she was happy. Picked up a couple of customers at exclusive nails.
They weren't crank calls, were they?
Actually, one of them was. They were picking on me, and she goes, "Hey, I don't know." Anyhow, so are we just kind of burning a little bit of time here?
No, we're not. We're not. It's time to go now.
Okay.
Got to start the third hour.
I have a story for the third hour.
Okay, well, good. We'll start off with the story, maybe.
Story
Of course, there are children present. Is it okay?
I think he has somebody to talk with us that will start at the top of the hour.
That's scary. Okay, quick break now, and we're back from the Bayway Chevrolet store here in Pearland and Wheelchairs for Warriors Car Show. Stay with us. Right back.
Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the most sought-after models in the Houston area today. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy to get to on Highway 225 near Beltway 8 in Pasadena. Whether it's online or in person, you're welcome like one of the family. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U on 59 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer car enthusiast and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Real Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and West U. Weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
From the Wheelchairs for Warriors inaugural car show extravaganza at Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland, Texas. This is the award-winning car talk show in wheel time. Just ahead, more participant guests with some interesting rides.
What?
We'll review our featured car of the week, the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E. We got your weekly cruising calendar. Conrad has This Week in Auto History, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong, we need more Jeff.
We do.
Zekin, and David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today. It's hot. It's hot, brother.
Well, it looks like a cloud came, and the temperature felt like it just dropped about 10 degrees, so it's only 110
It's only
degrees.
in your mind.
Didn't Kiss have a song called Hot, something hotter than heck? What was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Kiss?
Kiss?
You would know that. I'm not a big
And
Kiss fan.
there's a big cloud.
He just said
hovering,
that.
yeah.
Did you miss that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, at any rate.
I don't listen to him.
Well, we have some guests in the remote studio.
Well,
and
before we were talking to Earl, and we had
Earl,
some
yes.
common
Story.
friends with the Hemi convertible.
Yes.
And one of them was Dale Holquist, we
Right.
know as a drag racer. Earl's a drag racer. Stan and Sheila Holt with the whole fleet of Loopy Tortillas
Yep.
drag race cars,
Yes.
and the Emmons brothers. Well,
Yes.
here we have Tate Hildebrandt, and Tate drives a junior dragster.
Wonderful.
do you really? Way to go. You know, we know the lady that actually kind of started it and organized it.
We do.
Way back in the day. Her name is Sheila Mae Murray, was her maiden name. And now her son, Chase Murray, drives a top alcohol dragster, I believe. And so she's quite familiar with the junior dragster program. And, of course, you know, we have a very good friend of the show here by the name of Erica Enders. As a matter of fact,
Yep.
I bought that car from her dad. And, of course, the tires were burnt off the back of it. But,
And we
hey.
think Erica did it.
No, Erica didn't
No, it
do
was
it.
the junior dragster drove it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I said, I bet.
Yes, you bet.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he did. He
I did all that.
And Erica's a 4-time champion.
Yeah, and Erica has started off in junior dragsters. So
And this is Dad Jason, and Jason brought his 66 CUDA 340 bracket car.
Oh, it's a Plymouth Valiant.
Oh, Plymouth Valiant. Okay,
Yes.
well,
There you go.
it's not that,
no,
but it's similar to that.
It's similar. It's a little bit newer. but
Yes.
It's same body style.
Yeah, exactly. So you're a car guy.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you get that car guy thing going? High school? Before that?
No, it's my wife's car, actually.
It's the wife's car.
It's the
She's the
wife's car.
dragster.
Yeah, it's
She's got the Mopar hat on, too.
She doesn't drive, though. She doesn't drive it. She's too big of a baby.
Oh,
From
you'll
the-
be
from the-
eating
From the mouths of
saltines
babes.
tonight.
From the mouths of babes.
so her
There
dad
you go.
actually built that car.
No ice cream
It was
for
his
you.
first car he ever built.
Really?
Oh, wow, how
So-
cool is that?
So over the years, it sat in the garage a while, and then we got a place where we could actually store it. So he gave it to us to bring it down here. and
Wonderful.
Now we
So,
run it.
well, you know, I hear a little bit of an accent there. Is that from up north?
Yes,
Where is that? Where is that from?
Wisconsin.
Oh no!
Oh,
Go
no.
figure.
Oh no!
So,
They're gonna get together on this
Oh,
one.
no.
where?
You turn our
where,
mics off and just let them go.
Where in Wisconsin?
It's a little town called Prescott, right next to Minneapolis, St. Paul, right on the border.
Gotcha. So they're way out west, folks.
Oh.
I'm way down south.
Oh, the wrong side.
The wrong side of the
there you
track.
go.
That's exactly right.
Nice.
That's right. So you really cut your teeth, so to speak, at Brainerd.
I've been there a couple times.
He's been there a couple times.
Visited the zoo.
Yes, absolutely. I had a great time at the zoo, I think. I don't really quite remember.
Was there alcohol involved?
Oh, there was something.
It's Wisconsin. What do you mean?
Wisconsin and
Jeez.
Minnesota. There's that too. So how long have you been down here? You're the so she's the Minnesota girl. Yep. So look who's crossing the border now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly. All right. So the father-in-law had the car.
Yes.
She drove the car. She raced the car?
No.
I'm trying to put all this together. You have to help me.
No, her dad races super gas.
Still today?
Yes.
Okay.
So the car just sat there, so he gave it to us, let me start driving it.
Nice.
She let me start driving it.
She let you. So
Thank you.
How long have you all been down here?
Almost 14 years.
Oh.
Still haven't lost the accent, though.
I guess not.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living? What brought you down here?
Well, she got a job at MD Anderson, so I came with.
Very nice.
So,
very good.
And then I'm a branch manager at Bobcat of Houston.
Bobcat, sure.
Very good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Good for you. And how about the junior dragster here?
What do you do? How do you make your living?
I go to school.
Okay.
He goes to school. And
how was that this year, Tate?
Bad.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you normally a good student? You want to be focused and in that class, or you want to do Zoom stuff?
I have to be in class.
Okay.
I have to be in class. So tell us about your junior dragster.
Well, it's a 2003 Hardin's Junior. Been racing for about a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Has a 3-inch bill aluminum engine on it. Can run about 820s in a weight faster.
Oh,
wow.
Very cool.
Very
8th
nice.
mile.
Yes, of course. And
Like-
so have you won any events?
About 2 months ago, I got second place, but no, I haven't won.
Second place.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome to advance through
goal.
the crowd
Yeah.
like that.
So is Dad teaching you everything you need to know about engines and drag racing and that sort of stuff?
Mom is.
Yeah.
Or mom is.
No, she doesn't race.
No.
As I said earlier, she's too big of a baby.
Okay.
Saltines again.
And who is that your sister?
Yes.
Does the sister drive?
No.
Doesn't drive. Do you go for rides in the fast cars?
No.
No.
No, she shows horses.
Oh, okay.
very good.
Well, that's
it's the original horsepower.
that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, have you been for a ride in the Valiant?
Yes, sir.
And
What'd you think of that?
Fun.
is that why you're practicing as a junior dragster so you can get the Valiant?
They always joke about giving it to her, but she won't drive it. She'll just trash it.
Oh.
Gotta be nice. We're on the air. She'll get you later. My
Yes,
my
she
older
will.
sisters would always get me whenever I'd do something. Well, I was usually always the one to blame for doing something.
And because you always did.
I know it.
That's the way
It
that
was easy. Something went wrong at my house. I got the blame. They didn't have to ask, and it fit.
That still happens to this day.
Yeah.
So have you been out to the big event? You know, a couple of weeks ago, they had
Sure.
the event from Houston for the national event. Did you go out for that?
No.
It's loud.
It was rainy this year, so we just.
Oh gosh, it
never
was
made
raining all weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
For like 4 weeks, it was just nonstop rain.
yes, it was.
It was bad.
We
So-
usually go out there every year and watch.
Yep. So, how about that ride of yours that are you campaigning it? Are you running it on the track?
Yeah, we run. Both of us run the bracket series in Baytown
Yep.
and Pine Valley Raceway up in Lufkin. And he also runs the Southwest Junior Dragster Series, which is
Oh, very cool.
9 events in Texas, Louisiana,
Like
and
San Antonio,
Oklahoma.
Austin,
Wait,
Dallas
no.
area. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
That's like a job.
We talked to a fella here recently that is up at what is it? Evadale.
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 Have you been up to Evadale?
we've never made it there.
And that's a sister track to Pine Valley.
Yes.
Yeah, and we hey man, I can make it do that by hand controls.
There you go.
That's a hand controlled race car.
It is.
It's that car was built for veterans, challenged veterans with paralyzed legs and stuff, and they take them out to the track and teach them how to drive.
Dang, look at that.
What the?
We like that. Yeah.
I don't know how you get in it, but we like it.
He should go mudding with that.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
And then
quite
you have to
often.
clean it.
He won't drown. Let's say that.
No, that's exactly right.
That
So-
thing's probably taller than a tractor.
So how is this season going for you with the Junior Dragster Series? Are they having all of the events are running? Because I'm sure last year that
Yeah.
they messed
I
it
haven't
up.
been doing good because we just replaced the engine on it, but my other engine wasn't running good, so we've been doing bad. But the races have been good.
Okay, good.
So what was wrong with the engine, Dad?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's why we put a new one
Yeah.
on.
We tried everything.
And aren't they, to a degree, a spec engine, though? Are you allowed to play around inside the engine? And
The younger kids, 1390, they got to run a Briggs engine in it that has to be sealed. But once you get older, it's no rules.
Okay,
It's
okay.
all wide open.
Cool.
So you go as fast as your pocketbook can afford. It doesn't matter what kind of racing you're doing. You go as fast as your pocketbook can afford.
Well, I gotta go a certain speed, so not really. So
Bracket.
Well, yeah, you're just a little bit limited, but it won't be much longer, and you won't be limited in that regard.
I used to work for Joe Amato, and Joe Amato would say, if you want to make $10 million in racing, start with 20.
There you go.
good advice.
That is, that's a great advice. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so he's only 11, so he can only run 890. Once he
Okay.
turns 13, he can run 790.
So what's the best light you ever cut?
Trip zit with
You did?
with a 1? Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Nice.
And in the series, do they track your average light for you?
No.
No.
We just go as
I'm sure
it
somebody does.
Probably some weirdo.
Oh.
That would be me.
Well, he knocked half a 10,000th of a second off of that light.
No, I don't think that's a pretty good light. The do you work on the car yourself?
Yeah. I help him.
Yep.
He does most of the jetting and stuff on it, but I help.
So you're learning how to do some of the work on the car.
The calculations and how to get
Good for
things
you.
rolling.
Good for you.
Do you do the air pressures in the tires?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I depend on him more because we have a routine to keep it, like, if we mess it up, it could be a little different and it wouldn't be consistent.
So you have a list you go by. A,
We
B,
don't
C,
have a
D, E.
list. We just do it all the same.
Okay.
It's a list in their head.
Ah.
There's that. Yeah.
Well, how cool is that?
Yeah, exactly.
So when's your next event?
Next weekend for 9 days straight. All next weekend is Houston. Then we go up to Tulsa for all the weekdays of racing, and then we go to Lufkin, Texas for a day or two of racing.
Really?
Yeah. So it's Western Conference Finals for junior dragsters next Monday through Friday.
So do you have a place to stay, like a motor home, a toy hauler? How does that work?
Our trailer.
Trailer, yeah, that'll work. Okay.
So it's not glamping or anything for y'all?
No glamping. No. And
Your sister looks thrilled with it going.
and Sis is gone.
No way.
Well, there's lots of horse stuff to do up there.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys stay home, let them go on the road, huh?
I got it. So it's a father-son team on the road.
Basically,
Well,
that's good.
cool.
Tulsa's a pretty cool place to go.
I've already been there once and did terrible, so.
There's, I don't
But
know,
you have a new engine now.
Yeah.
There's
It's a new day.
Last time I went there was like my third ever race, so I'm not surprised I did bad, but.
Do you get some personal time while you're up there, or is it the whole time you're at the track?
We'll probably be at the track most of the time. But it's
That's
a pretty tight-knit little group, so we hang
Know
out with
each
them.
other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Network
I
with
was gonna
friends.
say,
All the kids hang out,
Yeah.
play.
Up in that area, I don't know if you know who Daryl Starbird is. Was a car customizer like a George Barris. He has a museum near Tulsa. So I was going to say if you wanted to
I've heard
do that,
about it.
Daryl Starbird's museum is right. It's short drive from Tulsa.
And you can get on Route 66 up there. Didn't we have a guest on
Route
that has
66,
the
that's
museum
right.
up there?
Get your kicks on Route 66.
Yep.
So what are Mom and Sis going to do while you guys are gone? Celebrate?
I don't really know because we've never been home.
Gotcha.
They need to record. They probably eat pizza,
Cool.
talk about horses, watch some girly shows, drama shows,
Any of those things?
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
fall
what they
asleep late.
So do you own your own horse? Just one?
Four.
Four horses.
Five horses.
Wow.
4.
You don't know about the fifth one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dad, you know, I hope that job of yours that you snagged is going to really pay out for you because.
Yeah, we picked the 2 most expensive hobbies I think you can get.
She could change.
Race cars and horses. Yes.
She could change. It would be a little
Well, they could
cheaper,
put you to
just
work.
saying.
They could put you to work in the barn.
There you go.
They won't pay me for that.
Well, but
Give you a shovel. You can walk behind them.
That's it.
Not going to happen.
Well, gentlemen and Mom and Sis, thank you all for stopping by.
And good luck for your season of Junior
too, Dad.
Dragster. And, you know, a lot of people have come out of that and have been quite successful. When we had when we were out at Baytown, we had Antron Brown on the show. And Antron Brown is in process with his son in the Junior Dragster competition.
And I don't know whether you heard it or not, but Antron is starting his own team next year.
Top field team, yeah.
And he's bringing on a very well-known, very successful crew chief, and he is going to be extremely successful.
Oh,
yeah, he's a guy to follow if you're not following him already. You guys are, yeah, sure.
So lots of people have come out of Junior Dragsters and been very successful in NHRA, and we wish you the best.
Okay.
Very cool, fellas.
All right. And
Thanks.
enjoy your vacation up there in Oklahoma and the piney woods of East Texas.
Fun.
Yeah,
He knows Oklahoma.
I've lived there for 10 years.
Yeah. So, and thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. I'm over here waving. They're looking at me. Okay. You have your back to them. They don't know what's going on. I'm waving at them, and they just continue to look at me,
She has
right on
Public
through to
enemy.
the back.
She has a boyfriend.
She has a boyfriend.
No, me.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, we're happy for that. Yeah.
All righty.
Thank you
that
all.
down.
Thanks.
We appreciate you.
You have a good day.
Yeah, do the same. All right. We have things to get to, including a car review. I had a chance to drive an electric car.
You did.
I did. And
Has your stress level gone down now?
it's starting to, but it's taken a few days. Now, for Buzz Smith, friend of the show,
Yeah.
Mr. Electricity, the evangelist, he's going to be hanging on every word that I say.
Yes, he will.
And that's fine, because I'm going to try to be as open and honest as I possibly can.
That's a first.
Not like I dissed the Jag yesterday.
Oh, gosh. You
That-
did.
there is
You
that.
hammered the Jag.
So, here on the In Wheel Time Car Show, we do a new car review every hour. Well,
Yes.
2 new cars and then a used car. This time we're doing the 21 Ford Mustang Mach-E. It is all new for 2021. It comes in several trim levels. It starts with the Select, the California Route 1, the Premium, the GT, and First Edition. I had no clue that it had all of those
That's a lot.
iterations.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The review trim level was the Premium all-wheel drive. There are some that are all-wheel drive. There are some that are just rear-wheel drive. This was all-wheel drive. It's classed as a small SUV. Seats 5 passengers. Exterior, pony emblem on a big fat solid grille in the front. No, it doesn't have holes in it. It's not blacked out. It's not chrome grille. It's just a panel that goes where
Body color panel.
a body cutter panel.
With a big fat Mustang on it.
Sculpted lower sills with black opening wheel trim. Skinny, swept back headlights. Fastback design with Mustang car taillights. What I liked about it, the overall design, I think, gets 5 stars for an SUV. What could use improvement? I don't know. Nothing as far as I know.
Well, it's your first one.
It's good looking.
5-liter Coyote with a supercharger on it.
Well, there's that.
But I don't know that it would be any faster.
Let me finish this.
Yes, sir.
You can comment afterwards, okay? I have to send this off to Ford. It's the only reason I'm saying that.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and I'm not editing it.
Interior highlights include multiple dash surfaces, including cloth. And this integration into these multiple surfaces is excellently done.
Well, you're a cloth fan.
I am, but I have not seen cloth on a dash outside of a custom car. It was very unique, but it looks really good. It works. It does have a massive vertical control screen. Now, you would call it an infotainment system, but it's more than that because it controls every function on the car. And it has layers and layers of info within that
It looks
screen.
almost like an iPad in the pictures.
Yeah.
A big iPad.
Large.
Passive phone charger and in-car integration with your phone. Comfortable leather seating in this particular one. Plenty of fastback styling limitations because of the fastback design. That sloping roof back there, it doesn't give you the cargo capacity that you may or may not have in another choice of an SUV. But remember, this is an electric. It's all new. And I got more looks. I had people stop their car, get out, parked in a parking lot at the HEB. Stopped, got out, hey man, I really like your car. They knew what it was. They didn't want to ask me too many questions, but got the thumbs up, got all of that.
Cool.
It does have a frunk, and I did like the frunk. I didn't use it.
Frunk.
What?
Frunk.
You said funk.
No, I said
No, you
frunk.
said frunk.
Frunk.
So that's a
That's
front
it.
trunk.
A front truck. That's it. Now, I'm going to save that little bit of information to the end. It has an electric motor, 1-speed transmission. It's either on or it's off. Now, as far as range is concerned, depending on what trim level you get and what combination of battery and trim level that you have, you can get anywhere between 211 and 305 miles, depending on battery size. The acceleration is wow. I will say that. It's either on or off. Now, I had to do a fast charge twice because of my paranoia. I did it twice over 6 days at a cost of $18, just so I was good on turning the car back in. We're supposed to turn the car back in with a quarter tank of gas.
Minimum.
Well, I gave them back a half a charge at 150 miles left. Good for me. Good boy, Don.
And how long did those charges
30
take?
minutes.
Really?
30
That's
minutes.
not bad.
So
No, it's not bad.
$9 for each charge.
Pretty much. One was $8 and the other one was $10, and they were within a couple of minutes of each other.
Kind of like stopping at Buc-ee's. You're going to spend 30
It's
minutes
not
at
like
Buc-ee's.
stopping at Buc-ee's because I spent 30 minutes charging, and that's all I did.
Well, you should have
Whereas
gone into Buc-ee's and
they don't
bought
have
some-
electric chargers that I know of yet.
Okay, I bet
Not
you they
yet,
will.
But yeah, eventually they will. But I was thinking that's half a tank for $8. You're not going to get out of the gas right now.
And 30 minutes isn't bad. I mean, if you're going someplace that has a charge station, you
Now,
stop and go do something.
as far as ride and handling is concerned, it goes around corners pretty good, but it feels heavy because it is.
Yeah.
The suspension is sporty, stiff. It feels like it barely has any springs underneath it.
It doesn't roll.
Yeah, a little, but not bad. It's not about that. The ride takes a little getting used to. You're thinking that something is wrong, but it's not. It's just the way that it rides. It's an electric car. The batteries are under the floor.
Right.
It's heavy feeling under the floor.
Low center
and a
of
low
gravity.
center of gravity, yeah.
That's what it is.
Now, the price is tested $53,700. Base model price is $47,195. Normally, I'd give you the base trim price, but it wasn't available for this particular car. It's a pre-production car. So competitors include, now remember, the base model price is $47,195. For the Tesla Model Y, the base price is $41,190. The Audi e-tron is $71,310.
Wow.
And the Polestar 2 is $61,200. Now, let me just say this. I mentioned this in a story that I did a little while ago, not in this particular show. But someone not decided to compare the Mustang Mach-E to the Mustang car, I thought that the name was okay. But since they compared the Mustang car with the Mustang Mach-E, I thought, they should have renamed the car something other than the Mustang Mach-E, in my opinion.
Right.
I've had many months to think about it. I was on the fence, didn't really know. But now I've decided, should have named it something else. There are lots of names in the Ford portfolio They're coming out with the Maverick truck.
Yeah, and could have been a horse relay, maybe called it Stallion or something.
Well,
like
it
that.
could have been the Maverick.
It could have been the Maverick. That's what I was thinking, too.
It could have been anything, but I understand kind of why they did it, because they wanted the name recognition. Because let's face it, I mean, Mustang, and this is going to get a huge crossover of buyers, I think, from the car side to the SUV side.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Never had an SUV before. So I get that. But me personally, I think that it should have been named something else, like Mike's Mach-E or something.
Capri, the Mercury Capri.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
And that is my review of the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E.
I have a question. The $18 you spend on the charge, what would that equate to for
I don't know.
filling up gas?
I don't
Well,
know.
he said he gave it back to him with 150 miles on it.
So I really,
No, I mean,
I know what you're getting
Yeah.
at. And so I think that it would have probably been about $18 worth of gas, to be honest with you, at the 7-Eleven or wherever you get gas.
Yeah.
That would be my guess,
I'm
but
thinking
it's
it's
too
less.
hard to calculate.
Right, I'm thinking
Which would have
less.
been about 7 gallons, 8 gallons.
Yeah, you're up 8 gallons nowadays, with depending where you go, is going to be up in the 20 plus range.
You have to keep in mind that the way that they calculate mileage on an electric car is some bizarre thing about the amount of juice is that the battery will hold, and how heavy are you with your right foot?
Yeah.
Because if you want to zip off every starting line, well, that saps the energy. Do you use air conditioning? That zaps the energy.
Did you trickle charge it at the house?
I did trickle charge it at 110, and it would take it 3 days to get back up to 100%. And it wasn't delivered to me with 100%. It was delivered to me with 80%. And the charge station told me that if I wanted to do 100% from 80 to get the extra 20% up to 100%, it would take me another hour and 5 minutes.
So it's kind of
So
like
that-
a
so
quick
it- the-
charge to
When it gets up there,
It slows down.
It slows down when it gets up at the top, so
Okay.
it takes longer.
And that's probably preserving the batteries.
Yeah,
I don't know how that
when
works.
You, when
You
you
would.
shove that much power in a battery, when the battery's drained, it's easier to push a lot of amperage in a battery. But as the battery fills up, if you continue to push that same level of amperage in it, you'll start damaging the battery.
Yeah.
So
So I guess that's why it is. I don't know, but at any rate.
Well, I heard Ford announce that it had nearly tripled its electric vehicle sales in the month of May versus prior to that. So the Mustang Mach-E is becoming quite the sales leader for them.
Well, and rightly so. But let me just say this outside of the review, that if it were me personally, I would wait a little while longer before I bought an electric, unless all you do is go from home to work and you have at least a 220 charger at the house.
Well, I agree with the 220 charger. That's almost going to be a requirement.
Yeah, I think so. Because like you're talking about my wife, where she does right now, and the type of driving she's doing, other than every couple of weeks whenever she decides to make a trip that's 75 miles, she doesn't go more than 30, 40 miles a day.
Is that to the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well-
so around town, she may make a dozen trips. She may put 100 miles a day on it, but it's 20, 30 miles at a time.
Well, back in the beginning when the Volts came out, wasn't there an option that you would get a certain tax break for the vehicle, and then also for
$3,500
for installing a charger in your home?
$2,500.
So
Yeah, I think you still
it would
do,
offset
actually.
it. They still do that?
I think so. I don't know that it's as big, but I think you could still get that tax break.
Okay. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast source. In Wheel Time Car Show continues from Bayway Chevrolet and the Wheelchairs for Warriors inaugural car show. We invite you to stay with us.
Cool.
Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one humming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U on 59 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Real Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and West U, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Today, coming to you from Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland, Texas, and the Wheelchairs for Warriors inaugural car show.
Thank you.
In addition to talking to a few of the participants in this mega event, Conrad has This Week in Auto History.
In the hemisphere.
In the hemisphere, and we'll also get you updated on the stories making auto news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong.
Woo-hoo.
We need more Jeff Zekin, and the fabulous David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could see us today. Can you see us?
Yeah. Who have you got here?
I can see you.
This would be Lincoln Stahl, the general manager.
There you go.
The chief potentate and head guy here at Bayway. And glad to see you again.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much.
He was with us last weekend, remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
And who's joining you next?
Tell them who you are.
Lincoln.
There you go.
That's Lincoln Jr.
Oh, cool.
Lincoln Jr.
There's the planes, Link.
The flyover.
And the planes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's this Lincoln. To my sidekick, Lincoln Jr.
Well, wow. Great event.
Man, it's been crazy, huh?
What a success.
Turned out. I mean, I knew it was going to be big, but it's bigger than I expected. You guys can't see the other side.
No, we can't.
Did you park him down there,
and
too?
I'm pointing so everybody on the radio can see where I'm pointing.
Well, no, you're on.
Okay, there you go. So on the other side of the building is completely filled with spectator parking and car haulers and everything like that. I mean, there's not a place. People are the shoulders are full, and I can tell you, inventory-wise, I can park 700 new cars and 300 used cars on this lot.
Oh.
Now, granted, there's some space in between some of these beautiful cars, and like I said, we got car haulers all over the place here. But it's full. It's full capacity, and it turned out to be better than I expected, and the weather held off for us. Hopefully, these guys will get these beauties put away. There's some beautiful cars out here.
Really are.
And a diverse group of cars here.
Yeah.
You know, we had the pleasure of all of the Corvette people kind of parking in front of us here, but just from the hot rods of the 30s and stuff, the old model.
The ambulance, you guys can tell. What years? I don't know what the ambulance is.
It's a 57 ambulance. We actually had them on the show.
Yeah, they're right around the corner there.
They were here. They were the first two people here waiting to get set in because they knew it was going to be a disaster to get into the place. But I think in general we did a fairly good job getting people, and we learned a little bit. It's my first car show I've ever put on, so we learned a little bit to make it a little easier.
What did you learn?
Next year. Well, I missed one of the silliest things ever. I mean, we got the dash placards for the cars so we can judge them, and we forgot to put numbers on the dash placards. So I got my judges running out there. I'm like, I need name, first name, last name, make, model, year. I need everything because we don't have numbers on the cars. That was one of the things that we learned. But our sponsors came through. You guys came through. And this has been I haven't seen the dollar amount yet, but I would probably be willing to bet, pending the live auction here, that we make six figures to give wheelchairs for
Wow.
wheelchairs.
Really? That's awesome.
That's absolutely awesome.
We had leading up to the event, just local businesses and just individuals, we had already raised $45,000 cash money to turn over to them.
Wow.
And then, of course, every car here, there was the entry fee that goes directly to them. The silent auctions are doing good. The raffles are doing good. I got a feeling, Bayway's going to write a check to the group too. So I got a feeling when it's said and done, we get close to six figures that we get to turn over.
That's really good. What a great organization to support.
Yeah, for sure. It's been great. You couldn't ask. I mean, it's one of those deals. Everybody, you can get behind supporting veterans. If you can't, then especially injured ones. If you can't get behind supporting them, then who can we get behind?
We're here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We've learned a lot on this broadcast too.
Yeah.
The heat is won.
Yeah. I love the fans. Hey, you guys got this decked out.
Yeah.
This is like a perfect tailgate tent right here.
Well,
I like it. Like first couple game of the season tailgate.
Yeah.
So next year we'll be in the showroom.
Yeah, I would put you. We could figure that out for next year. What I should have done, but I didn't know about equipment and everything. But we got those porter cools. We could have pushed one of them over here.
Well, we talked about that, and it just didn't happen to show up. But that's okay.
Yeah,
We've managed to make do, and now it's all in the downhill slide.
Yeah, absolutely. But I appreciate you guys coming out. I know it wasn't easy to get all this stuff out here, but it means a lot that you guys did. And
want to support what you want to support.
Yeah,
and,
I
Wheelchairs
appreciate
for
that.
Warriors.
And we appreciate your support of us and
of
our
course.
show.
Yeah.
And our show. Daryl has been very kind to us and introduced me to you, and you said, yeah, let's do this thing. And
I followed along on the show before you even called. It was always one of those cool things. There's always cool little things on Facebook and whatnot like that. So I always
laughing at us.
Well, no, but the thing I love about it is it's real car guys. It's not there's no BS. It's just real guys with a microphone on their head talking about cars, and that's the coolest thing about it.
So you've got an auction paddle here. What are you buying?
There's a AR that was custom made. It was powder coated like a distressed American flag.
Right.
And I know Daryl wants to buy it, so one of us is going to buy it. But if he buys it, he's going to
pay for it.
He's going to pay for it.
You're going to run him up, in other words.
Well, we had a chance to see a couple of his stunning cars.
Oh, beautiful!
The yellow Ford Coupe.
Yep.
The sinister black Corvette.
So that was a Grand Sport. That was a Grand Sport C6.
You told a story about the yellow one this morning before we were setting up.
Yeah, I can't. I don't remember the details of it, but that's the car that was in. That's not the car that was in. That looks just like the car that was in American Graffiti. Mm-hmm. And the engine, and I wish I knew the facts of it, but that engine was a Ford. It was a Ford engine that they made
for NASCAR.
And NASCAR banned the engine. It was after a few races they banned the engine, and there's literally like three of these things.
Three in
existence.
Yeah, and there's one in that car. So
how cool!
And it's got a quick change rear end that I noticed, and that thing, looking at it can't weigh anything.
No.
That thing's got you get it geared right. That thing's stand on its head. I'm sure.
Hold on tight. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. But there's no air. And Joe, one of the guys that helps with the car, he drove it over yesterday. Daryl drove the convertible. He was no, he didn't. He drove the GTX. But Joe pulled in that thing, and those windows are the size of a lunchbox, so there was no air. There was no air in that car
whatsoever.
No air and no 55 mile an hour, no nothing in that car. So
well, I think one of the things that I've taken out of all of this is that getting a chance to meet Daryl and come to find out what a car guy he really is.
He's the real deal.
He is the real deal. Houstonian.
Yeah.
Which
born
I think,
raised.
Born and raised here. And, friend of Dale Hulquist.
Right.
Dale was the one that took me over there and showed me around with Daryl. And afterwards I said, we're all here to support each other. And so I reached out to Daryl and I said, we've got this car show, and I think it really fits in with your dealerships. Why don't we do something? He said, sure. Talk to Lincoln. I said, okay. So I reached out to Lincoln, and as it turned out, he's a car guy too.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I grew up in the Northeast where dirt racing was big. So we had
where in the Northeast? He's from Northeast.
So Western New York.
Okay, I was Westchester County.
Okay, yeah. So dirt racing's huge up there.
Yeah,
so I grew up. My dad had sprint cars and dirt modifieds.
Dirt mods, yeah.
Started off actually drag racing, and then they did away the Air Force Base up there. They did away with the quarter mile, went to an 8th mile track, and he wasn't a fan of that. So started off with late models, and by the time I was big enough, my son, he took up. But when I was his size, I was down in the garage with them building cars, and we didn't have a bunch of money, so we were building cars. We weren't buying cars. And but I was around cars growing up with him, whether it was tinkering on one of the hot rods that he was building or whatever it may be. And so it's one of those things. I mean, I run 3 dealerships, so
it gets in your blood.
Well, it's one of those things I don't have to. Luckily, I got guys I can pay to work on a car, and so I don't necessarily. It's not like when I was a kid, my dad come home from work, had to go out in the garage and fix the car that mom broke when she was driving because it was her fault all the time, right? so didn't matter what it was. I got a great story, a real funny story. We go down and I'm getting off track here, but we had an old like an 84, 85 Impala, had a 350 in it. He bought it from Florida and brought it up to New York and painted the car. The clear coat had burnt off the car from the heat, and he painted the car. Yeah. It was white with black wheels on it, had a 350, and it ran pretty good. And he come home from work. He worked at General Motors. He came home from work after a 12-hour shift, and he got to the house, and Mom said, "I hear a funny noise coming from the car." And there was a like it was back then, the blast off of explicit words, and she didn't know how to drive and didn't know how to do this, that. And he stomped down the stairs, and I remember hearing him leave the driveway and hauling up the road. When you got to the end of the road, there was a corner, and there was a country road that took off down there. So you heard him. You heard the car ripping through gears, and you get down there, and then he was gone. And it was middle of winter. The roads were clear, but it was cold. It was February. And all of a sudden, we had CBs in the car back then, no cell phones. And Dad gets on the CB and says, "Call Kerwin and tell him to send the wrecker out."
Uh-oh.
He got around the corner. It was a wheel bearing, and he twisted the spindle off, and the right front went in. So I was his age down there holding a pickle fork in about 10 degree below weather while he hit it with and with every swing of the hammer. You can imagine what was coming out of his mouth. And I didn't say a word, man. I stood there and I did whatever he told me to do. But I grew up in a garage, and so I was telling you, I just bought that T-type Regal, and that's why I bought it, because I want him and I to have something to do. So, even if he doesn't have to work on a car, I don't need him to be on his first date and not be able to change the spare tire.
Well,
have his girlfriend show him how to change the spare tire for him.
And the T-type Regal's really pretty cool because everybody thinks Grand National.
Yeah.
And the T-type was a little bit more of a luxury one.
So there was roughly every year about 20,000 Grand Nationals produced. About 1,500 T-types, and the GNX it was about 500.
580 something.
So, and the difference between the cars was the Grand National had all the black on the outside, which I've done. I got rid of the chrome. I already did everything's black on the car. And then the wheels on the T-type, the wheels were awful, and they were just wheels.
More of a production.
So I have those wheels, but I got factory original GNX wheels on the car.
Oh, okay.
But the interior is all original in the car. The difference was the T-type had split bench with column shift, and the other two cars had the buckets with the console shift. So that might be our next project. But there's a lot of things you can. The parts are super available for the car. Had a weird braking system in it, so you can't just go yank brakes off a Camaro and put on them. They had some weird electronic brakes on them. But the car, my buddy over there, E1 Motorsports. They do turbo work. He does a lot of German cars, and they just did one. They had a GNX. There's one of the guys going home from the car show. They had a he's going to get some air conditioning. He just did a GNX, and he said that turbo that's on that car's in shape. He changed the injector. He said that car will make 500 horsepower.
Oh yeah,
with that turbo.
Really?
Yeah.
Those Buick V6s had a real strong base
and super good weight transfer. I mean, you get those cars with 6 cylinders and there's no weight in the front. So when you step on it, that weight gets to the back a lot better than it does with those extra 2
So
cylinders.
you're a former military?
Yeah, I'm an Army guy.
Army guy. What'd you do? Jump out of planes?
Yeah, I was a paratrooper. That's why you see me limping around out here. I'm not blaming it on that per se, but my ankles are locked. I was running back and forth, and I needed air conditioning. I was sweating. I was on my second shirt, and I got in the showroom, and I told my wife, I said, I really need to sit down. I said, but I know once I sit down, and Seth Payne from Sports Talk, he's here. He's the old Texans guy. And I told you, as soon as I said it, he said it too. I said, if I sit down, I'm locking up. He goes, keep moving. So when I get home tonight, I'm going to be in rough shape.
So how'd you get together with Wheelchairs for Warriors?
I went to an event. We went to a crawfish boil at Doc Patton. He owns a dentist office here in town. He's a charitable guy. He had a crawfish boil. And I got there. I went there because it was a bunch of the local business guys. It was a good community. And I got there, and I found out that it was actually they were raising money for Wheelchairs for Warriors. So I met a couple of the guys that were there receiving their wheelchairs that day, and then I started talking to them, and I left just kind of feeling like I needed to do something. And it was literally like, I got to do something. So that was a Sunday. I text Crystal, who runs Wheelchairs for Warrior, on Monday. We had lunch together on Wednesday. I said I want to do a car show. And then here we are, 5 weeks later.
It's only 5 weeks.
You put this on in 5 weeks?
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you called me, I guess, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Don, can you promote this? Well, I said, let's do something a little bit better. Why don't we just do a podcast about
I appreciate you guys so much.
Well, thank you.
I do know that you guys had a hand in making this thing, and I appreciate you guys for that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it too.
Cool.
We're all in this together.
Absolutely.
And
appreciate that.
The car community is very unique, and it's been an honor to be in it.
Yeah,
all these years.
These guys. I mean, to show up, these guys just to show up, and it is cool to have a gathering spot for them. But they're usually Space City Corvette, and they do a ton of. So we sponsor them. They do a lot of stuff for EquiSearch. They showed up big out here.
Yeah, they showed up real big.
They showed up real big.
When she drove in, she goes, "Where's our parking space?"
Yeah,
we're not real sure.
That was one thing I had. I did have I had sandwich boards out there with the car club, so they could all park together and everything.
We've been fielding questions as they came by.
I appreciate that.
We didn't know all the answers, but
we just say go that way.
Just go, that's the point.
So, what are you looking forward to now?
Well, we got to get this cleaned up. We got to get all our cars back on our lot. We got I got all my cars stacked up back there behind the building. So, we'll get this cleaned up. We're gonna, like I said, we got a live auction coming up here in 15 minutes. We're gonna try to raise some more money for these folks and get them sent down the road and take a breather and then worry about getting some new car inventory in here and sell some
how
cars.
is that going, by the way?
It's from the way it looks, they'll start producing cars again at the end of this month, except for Ford. I mean, Ford, my Lincoln store, it's rough.
Really hurting.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have 0 cars in transit over there right now.
Ooh, yikes.
Zero. And you got to figure it's 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks to get a car shipped. They take 3 weeks to get you a car. So it looks like they'll start producing Navigators, Aviators at the end of the month. So you got to figure it'll be near the end of July
before you get them
before
on
I
the
get
ground.
cars. So certified pre-owned business. I mean, here we come.
CPO is a great thing for
and I believe
customers
that you
too.
said to me that yesterday was quite the day here, and you really weren't kind of expecting the amount of volume that you'd get out of here.
It's been business has been good.
That's good.
It's been good.
Well,
like
when you reach into the community doing an event like this, the community recognizes you do that.
So it's funny, when COVID hit, we never got slow. I mean, I was very careful. I made sure people were safe, all that good stuff. And we had a deal. We bought the same kind of chemical they use to sanitize military hospitals and airplanes with, and we were sanitizing frontline workers' cars for free. So we'd put that on the radio or on Facebook. We do 100 a day.
Wow.
And it's one of those things, Daryl, Linda, myself. It's genuine. It's legit. We do want to help. But with that being said, that eagerness and willingness to help has been good for our business, because when things get tough, especially in a town like this where it's big but it's a small town,
right? It's a growing town.
People get behind you, and I tell him. I mean, I tell everybody. I tell my young sales guys, that's what makes the world go round. Guys, you guys are helping me, and I'm going to be there to help you guys. That's really what makes the world go round.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's not whatever. I mean, you can say things aren't the way that it used to be when we were kids or whatnot, but I mean, the only reason it isn't is because we don't have more guys, doing this. So
it's a people business.
Yep, absolutely. So, like I said, there's it's genuine, it's legit. We try to get behind these organizations and help out, and it does pay back. I mean, people are willing to support you.
We thank you for letting us be a part of
Absolutely.
it. We know you have to get to the auction.
Thank you guys
as well.
so much.
Go to the auction, have a good time. Go
Thank
for
you
it.
guys. Appreciate
you.
You.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right, time now to check on This Week in Auto History, one of our features that we do every week. And we wanted to make sure that you got a taste of what Conrad has for you.
Is it sushi?
Well, I was.
Is it sushi?
Is it sushi? Well, I wasn't going to do auto history, but I was going to do another piece in its place.
You didn't tell me that.
I know. Well, I told you I had another piece to do, but that's okay. One of the things, and this is kind of good news for the Bayway organization, General Motors has announced a new extended limited warranty that's available for customers to purchase to get beyond their 36,000-mile warranty. So on the limited warranty on Chevy, GMC vehicles, and Buicks, the base warranty only lasts for 36 months, 36,000 miles. However, GM is now selling another extension of it to go to 60 months or 60,000 miles. It's only available on the GMC, Chevy, and Buick 2020 and newer vehicles. But when you purchase the vehicle, the new purchase customer can continue to have new car coverage up to 60,000 miles. And to opt for that new car coverage, they have to purchase from the local dealership outside of Florida, California, Maine, and
those other
Minnesota.
weirdos.
Yeah, those other weirdos. And if you live in one of those, and the cost of this new car warranty is going to vary from dealer to dealer, but for their small cars is going to be roughly $1,000, and for the bigger cars is going to be roughly about $2,500. So a lot of customers.
Can you roll that into your?
I'm sure you can.
Financing, yeah. You know,
that's what they want you to do.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, for years on this show, I've said certified pre-owned warranty in many cases can be better than the factory warranty. Well, General Motors is coming out with a way to get that factory warranty bumper to bumper. They're going to cover headlights and lights and squeaks and everything up to 60,000 miles.
You can still buy additional mileage and time as well on top of that.
So,
and they won't call you every day. They won't call you every day wanting to know if your warranty's up.
Well, they will, because those aren't the dealership people.
Oh, okay.
That's coming from some other place.
Pakistan.
So that was my extra story, but I thought that was pretty cool that they finally added something. Other questions?
No, no, there are no other questions.
Was, but
I do have some other stories.
Let's go back to the first
hour. I knew
hour.
I was trying to give you some time back. Usually I eat all the time I have, and I'm still doing it.
No, I don't eat all the time.
No, I do.
You do.
Yeah.
You eat all the time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. GM will expand its OnStar Guardian Safety app to non-GM owners to help anyone with a smartphone connect with family and friends and quickly access emergency services. You know, that OnStar thing, I really never thought too much about it at the get-go, but that's become quite handy and useful.
OnStar is awesome. I've loved OnStar from its inception.
I never forget I had a car, I don't remember what it was, some GM vehicle, and somehow, some way, the keys got locked inside. Called them. Oh, yeah, we can unlock that for you. Tell us such and such and such and such. Okay, I did that. Ding!
Yep, car unlocks. Beep. You know, they know where the vehicle is. They can do, if your car's stolen, they can, you know, they've changed the program from when the car is stolen. Used to be when the car was stolen, they just shut the car off.
Yeah.
Now they slow you down so the police can find you.
Yeah. Well,
and then shut the car off.
Well,
and
they also do that.
And keep the doors locked. And keep the doors locked.
And if you're in a pursuit, they'll slow it down.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Ex-UAW President Gary Jones was sentenced Thursday to 28 months in the federal clink for stealing millions from auto workers to live a lavish lifestyle of golf, cigars, and fine liquor. Didn't say anything about women, but we'll just leave it at that. Jones, 63, is the second consecutive union leader to be put behind bars following his predecessor.
He's one of many over the years,
Dennis Williams, who last month was sentenced to 21 months in prison. 2015, the feds alleged Mr. Jones ordered more than $13,000 worth of cigars from Gary's Sales in Arizona,
Clinton brand,
in large part for the use of UAW official B, whom the Detroit News identified as Williams. The purchase included 12 boxes of Ashton Double Magnum cigars.
Oh, those are good.
Worth $268 a box. And the Jeff Heitzman preference, the Ashton Monarch Tubos, worth $274 per box.
Do you know what my
Those are like a 68 ring gauge cigar. I mean, it's
my favorite cigar. They're called It's a Boy.
It's a Boy.
God. It was made out of dog poop off of the yard.
It could be It's a Girl.
I like the blue ones.
2017, the feds allege Mr. Jones and others spent $539,608 on multiple golf resorts and hotels. They also spent more than $290,000 on condominiums, some of which are on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
There you go.
Lavish restaurants, golf green fees, cigars, spa services, clothing, musicals, amusement park tickets, and other luxuries.
Chipperellos.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, Tipperillos, cigars, cigarettes,
Tipperillos, coffee, tea, or me. Did you happen to see the new Maverick? The pictures of it. It had a big whoop-de-doo with the press.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
Looks like a Colorado to me.
It has the Ford familiar look. It
Definitely,
has,
it's Ford family.
You know,
size of a Colorado.
The grill, the big, huge headlights, and I know you talked about the huge headlights yesterday. You know, it has that look, but it's supposed to be a compact truck. I think everything should have been toned down a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think it's quite as compact as people expect. It's
we
smaller
like,
than the midsize.
We like to think of the Mazda B100 or whatever.
Or the old Nissan hardbody.
There's one around the corner over here. That, it's dropped and lowered, but it is that. I mean, it's about the size of this
That's the kind
table.
that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Single cab, long or short bed.
Ranger.
3 people at the max in there, including the driver.
If they're small.
But that's not this.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is like a small, to me, it looks like a small midsize. I haven't seen it officially.
There you go.
I haven't been in it, but it looks like a small midsize truck.
Tacoma,
Can
Colorado.
I just say this? The headlights, man. Who? Somebody designed it, and then somebody's
bought into it.
Went, oh yeah, that's the look we're looking for.
Well,
who is that guy? Who are those people?
I think that's part of keeping
Where
it in
are
the
those
Ford
people?
family.
Where are those people?
They're writing the check in Detroit.
But I don't understand. I don't get it. That's good. Could you come up with something just a little bit better than that,
or something more unique? You know, just to copy what they had and call it something new. I'm not real sure it is.
That's it. What do you boys think?
If you look at what they did with the Mustang, it's the same basic principle.
Well, not the Mustang Mach-E, and why not compare it to the car?
Exactly.
We're not doing that.
No. Not today, anyway.
No.
Tell us what you think, Tom.
Thanks for playing.
Okay, thanks for playing. All right, we need to take a quick break, and we'll wrap up today's event here at Bayway Chevrolet and Wheelchairs for Warriors right after these messages.
When you're ready to shop Chevrolet, we know one that should be at the top of your list. Bayway. Locally owned by Houston-born and raised Daryl Wisniewski, Bayway brings a sense of family to your Chevrolet buying experience. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chevrolet is located only 8 minutes from the Beltway and Highway 288. Whether it's online or in person, you'll be welcome like one of the family. BaywayChevrolet.com. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Loopy Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U 159 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer car enthusiast and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Real Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and West U, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670.
Here we go.
Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Nothing like leaving it on a good note,
Hot
right?
diggity.
Well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like. Tell your friends about us and share our junk. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features, along with all things automotive all week long. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available from your favorite podcast outlet. Special thanks to all of our guests today, including Daryl Wisniewski, Lincoln Stahl, and all the folks at Bayway Chevrolet, along with Wheelchairs for Warriors. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the David Ainsley. Our marketing manager and video technical director, we need more Jeff.
We
Seaton.
do.
For booking agent and podcast man Mike Out of This World Mars and his royalty King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Be sure and join us each and every Saturday for our 3-hour live broadcast across a multitude of audio and video streaming platforms right here on the fabulous Smoke and Mirrors Network. Today's show is produced by Newbaum Turk and the rest of the Hollywood Knights. Mark your calendar to join us next Saturday for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10. Did I get it right?
You did.
Or better yet, come on out for the cruise in 8 to 11 a.m. So long for now. Have a super deluxe week ahead.
Absolutely.